Howdy, guys.
What's up, buddy?
like 20 seconds to showtime, and there I am.
That's the
Glad to have you.
I was hauling ass. I think I power slid a boat around a corner behind a pickup. I'm not sure, but Ron, what happened? You get mange and have to shave your mustache, or what?
You know, Sue wouldn't let me kiss her last Saturday.
Oh boy!
And I was like, so I said, if I shave my mustache off, will you kiss? And she said, I would love you to shave that mustache off. I ran into the bathroom, and 15 minutes later, I looked just like Nick Larson, no hair.
I'm trying to pick up the slack for you this week, Ron, but we all know how that goes.
You know, later I look just like Nick Larson. There's something about people. There's some people who look good unshaven. You know what I mean? Like 3-day, 5-day, they just look like boom. Nick, you look homeless with that hair on your face. You're just, you know, it's.
Don't take it, Nick.
He can take it. He can't reach me.
Are we having all kinds of audio problems with us?
Yeah, I'm getting delayed, but I definitely caught that jab, Ron. So thank you for that.
Yeah, we might have screwed this pooch up a little bit here. I got. I told you we're sharing a room, but we already went through the audio problem.
You guys may have to share just share a computer. Yeah, just both of you sit on the same side.
Last year, last week I said I'll put Dave on my lap and work his mouth like a puppet.
That's right.
But actually, my hand would be down here.
You may just want to have him come over there and sit next to you, and you guys can both just back up a bit. That may be the best way to do it.
What's going on when he talks? Oh, you mean just because he's froze? You want to try the Ethernet cable quick?
Oh, I forgot to hook that up.
Well, let me just try a cable, and if that don't work, I'll move the computer back, and we'll get 2 seats here.
Well, we can still hear him talking, even though his mic's mute, through your mic. So we're going to end up getting a double feed.
Well, we got that taken care of earlier, but I know what you're saying. Now there goes Tyler. Everybody's going away. Yeah.
Am I really?
No.
Oh, okay. It's just Ron.
Yeah.
He's got too much going on his internet.
Yep.
Probably.
Don't you wish you had Wi-Fi that worked?
I wish I had real Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Am I still froze?
You're blacked out.
You guys are gonna have to share a screen, man. It's the way it's gonna have to work.
Snuggle up tight.
Yep. Snuggle.
Oh.
So what have you guys been up to this week?
It wasn't an issue till Tyler joined.
Gerald was talking about my mustache. He says the beavers didn't like the caterpillar.
Fair enough. I saw that. I was waiting for you to notice.
You want to just reset this?
Yeah, I'll X out. I'll get out right now.
Oh, look at this. They're gonna come snuggle.
All right. Well,
You got a little bit wider shot with only 4, so you should be good.
Yeah, we're gonna have to redo.
Just push her back. It's
Is
a nice
your
shirt,
mic-
Ron.
Yeah, pike gear.
Oh, you like that? Look at
Stay down.
Look at that. Oh, he's doing the booby dance.
Oh yeah. Well,
You need a stogie in your mouth when you're doing that. You're like Arnold.
We'll just keep pushing that camera back.
Boy, Dave, you're looking slim and trim. Look at you.
That's the best I could booby dance.
Was that a booby dance?
Some of us have real boobies.
You might need tassels. Get them spinning.
Yeah, you cleaned the chair off and the counter off, and here I am writing the shit.
I know.
Pardon my French. I'm
didn't.
sorry.
We were gonna try this. Just make like this.
Oh, jeez.
It's a dusty. Well, there goes our good trick we were gonna do.
Yeah, that's out. That's over and done with now.
Yeah, that was gonna be fantastic.
But your feet is cleaned up nicely.
Yeah.
What happened to now? Why I don't see Tyler?
My elbows and my arms are not cleaned up nicely.
You don't see me?
I got everybody loud and clear.
This is reminiscent of when we used to do this when you first started.
Yeah,
It's kind of a shit show right now, isn't it?
Ron, why are you going to put another wilderness workout? Boy, Jeff knows all the shit I've done. Anybody ever seen my wilderness athlete workout?
I have.
Where would you see that?
YouTube.
Go on YouTube. I think is it on Steve Rinella's YouTube?
I think it might be.
Huh.
Yeah, Ron's on they're trying to shoot, hopefully no hunter safety instructor ever seen it, because they're hammered, I'm pretty sure. And they're also running on treadmills and shooting clay pigeons. It's pretty funny. It's totally worth a watch.
We were trying to simulate grouse hunting. So we had a bike. We had a bike upside down with clothespins and playing cards. And every time we'd spin the wheel, we'd go.
And then you flush it.
Grouse hunting than what I do, but
it's supposed to get to a grouse flush.
That sounds about right. The closest thing Ron's had to a grouse flush.
Here we go.
Playing cards and bike folks.
I think the best part though is when they were when you guys were working on your trigger fingers with the bungee cords.
Yeah,
and it snapped you. That was good.
Well, I have a little slapstick in me for sure.
And here's Doug patiently trying to find the video on YouTube just so I can see it.
I'm trying to see. We got comments here. I got
from Maine.
Message. Here's from Maine. Y'all welcome to grouse season. Billy, do you have any grouse in Maine? I've heard they're gone. Like Indiana and Maine are both endangered. That's what I heard. That's true. Is that true?
I don't believe that's true.
I haven't heard that.
You had troubles, but I don't know.
Here it is.
Holy cow, gun show.
Yeah, look at that. The sun's out, guns out.
Wow.
That was a few years ago when I was lifting.
Who's in the back there?
That's Chip.
Chip's back there doing. That's my old buddy Bill down there that cuts my grass. Now we're getting our trigger fingers ready.
Oh, please let go.
Oh yeah, he lets go. Oh, bad. He didn't tell me he was going to let go either.
Just wax him.
This is how you work if you don't have a partner to do it.
I feel like he's doing a supermarket training video right now.
This is a safe version.
Yeah, it gets better.
There you go. Yeah.
One of my dogs tied out there. Oh, that's how Chip gets his. He's really.
Oh, nice.
Look at them guns.
That a kettlebell on there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, that's how he gets ready to gets his muscle memory up.
Imagine the mount.
Oh yeah. Imagine him mount. Oh, this is how we get our core. We get our core so we can swing through a bird.
Can't believe I've never seen this.
Oh, it's the best thing on the internet.
I'm surprised this didn't take off.
Yeah, it's got like 10 hits. Not 11.
Yeah, now it's got 11.
I'm shocked. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I might watch it.
How many years ago was this, Ron? Like 4 or 5?
2013.
Sit up, pull.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. So
That is funny.
Bill, it's 80 degrees out. Bill's
Got the beanie on.
Bay Packers beanie on. But he's so old, he don't sweat no more.
Is that a thing?
I was going to say, is that a thing?
Can you guys hear the commentary?
No.
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 Oh, that's awful.
Good grief. Nice. Yeah, so Bill doesn't really the only one that really gets it is McPhail has a little hard time on the treadmill. There's McPhail.
That's walking pretty slow right there.
Well, you're grouse hunting. You're just
fair.
Oh.
What happened?
Almost went down.
This is so safe. I can't believe they don't show this in Hunter's Head.
You should definitely put this into an information product and start selling it.
I just can't find the right product that it represents. I don't know what that would be.
Miller Lite, probably.
I don't even know if that would be. I don't know if they want to take responsibility for that one.
Yeah, they
No,
might
I'm sure not. Yeah.
Of course, I could say that no actual firearms were discharged into making this commercial. If I
You're
put that
acting.
disclaimer-
The acting's
By the
not
lack
perfect.
of broke clays, I would agree with that.
Yeah, there was a couple other parts in there. We were just silly shit.
No.
Steve had this thing like when he was first had Wilderness Athlete. He's like, "Show us how you get ready for season." I'm like, "Oh, fine. I can show you how we get ready for season. We drink beer at the gun club, and we bring our treadmills out there.
Know what Steve does to get ready for season.
A little different, but
Why was that treadmill out there?
we brought it out there for a prop.
I'm impressed someone owned a treadmill.
Well,
That was full of clothes.
That was old. Yeah, you wouldn't have known what to do with all the clothes.
No.
Good thing Nordic Trek changed walk-in closets forever. All of a sudden, builders started making smaller walk-in closets with people put that shit in their bedroom so they could look at it and feel guilty.
Well, we ran out of space, so I got an elliptical. So now all my laundry.
So you can hang all your clothes on the elliptical. Yeah.
It's got those
Works
big
well.
handles and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
More room for hangers.
It's easy to pick between what you want, right? It just goes.
Oh yeah. Just push that back. I got a lot of
Uh-oh.
clothes
We got
hanging on my squat rack right now.
We got an actual question here, fellas.
Uh-oh.
I don't see a question mark.
My
That's
my
true.
new starter has the hardest mouth. Oh, Dave might want to handle this one. Last week I was working retrieves and could hear the squish of her chewing the bird. The brown gut liquid of the bird was running out of her chin.
Yuck. How
How-
old?
Yeah.
How old is the dog?
That's the question.
Sounds like a puppy. He said new.
Yeah.
It's kind of like chewing Red Man.
Yeah, brown liquid coming down.
This,
Not about
it's
that.
not as easy as the pouches where you can just swallow. You got to spit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
get it?
We don't know an age on it. But if it is a young dog,
It'll grow
You know
out
what?
probably.
I was gonna say I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry about it for now. If it is, we
Well,
talked
see-
about that once before.
as long as he ain't eating it, don't let him eat them. That's always
Right.
A couple of
I do
things
know-
I'd recommend doing is taking away its chew toys. Like, especially if you're using tennis balls and stuff. Yeah, 8 months old.
8 months.
If you play with it with tennis balls and stuff like that, sometimes they'll start popping them just because they like to chew on
It's
things.
fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. Dogs love
Yeah.
to pop shit like that.
Don't let them do that no more.
I do know that chasing them down and beating them in front of people is a no-win. Just to let you know, it's just embarrassing.
I thought that was
Oh, I spent like 13 years doing it, but
short hair.
yeah,
And then he
short
got-
hair.
That's why he got labs. He needed to get
Yep.
something he didn't have to do that with.
The only guy I know that most everybody transitions from labs to pointing dogs. Dave went, "Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I'm going back to the normal world."
yeah.
He's smart.
Hey, Utzinger,
Yeah,
I got
Oh, wow.
something here for you. Whenever you come out this fall,
Little shine.
yeah, I'll just it's clear liquid in a jar. I think is what you call it.
No, I think he calls it pure heaven in a jar.
It's not that at all. In fact, it's kind of gross, but it's from Kentucky.
Oh, looky there.
Oh, cheers.
Nick, here's to being able to wake up in the morning.
It's
Salud.
that one's peachy.
Peachy.
Yikes!
Yeah, I had a dog named Peachy.
This has got a really strong rubbing alcohol aftertaste. It's not a good finish.
I was bracing for the, but it's not there. But you know where it is? Right here. Oh,
That's
Feeling going
burn.
down.
burn. That's all done.
That was special
Yeah.
for Ron because I knew the last time he wasn't a big fan.
I've got some store-bought moonshine upstairs that's just not good.
It's not good.
Well, of course, there's
No.
no such thing as good moonshine.
It was a gift. Somebody gave it to me, and it's not good.
Does somebody not like you? Like
I mean,
every time I get, I had people last year. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to bring you a jar of moonshine from Kentucky." It's like, can you
actually,
not?
I get the feeling. I feel like it was a re-gift. That's the sense that I got.
Felt like it was. Yep.
Yeah.
Pat, have I ever not
It
made
might have
hour
been
two?
Yeah.
Check this the tax date on it. Might have been a re-gift.
Yeah, it very well could. Yeah, you know what I've got? I got it upstairs it's in the bathroom closet because we're all out of rubbing alcohol, so we've just been using it for household.
Here's a good question for you, Utz.
Oh no, I'm not answering it.
Oh yes, you have to.
I'm not answering.
Hey, how come I don't have Tyler on my screen? Is that just from
You
my
really
end?
don't?
I'm
I
still
don't
not
have
understanding.
Tyler.
It's a black square.
Black square with a little spinning circle. I can hear him fine.
You can hear him, huh? Weird. That's your internet, then. I would.
Doug, you got me?
Oh yeah, loud and clear.
I can drop out and come back in. Maybe you'll be able to see me then.
He would have to drop out and come back in.
Oh,
It's on his end.
yeah. Well, I'm not much to look at, anyways. You guys are fine.
Yeah, but the reactions are better. Let me see. How do I drop out?
Go down to the bottom and hit leave studio.
Yeah.
Oh, like I have to read that part. Thank you. We'll be right.
Going to wake up looking for your pants, he says. Yeah, well, no, usually is what I do is I'll wake up and I'll still be wearing my pants and shoes, and I'll just be like, face down in bed. I apparently was pretty full last week when we got done with this thing because I came out the next day and there were still 4 scented candles burning.
Oh, boy. In the old spray foam garage. Perfect.
Oh yeah, totally safe.
Absolutely. You've got that. You have the fire retardant spray on there.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure.
for sure. Yeah, and I got so many smoke detectors out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should I let him back in?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Pull him up.
Is there?
Add me in. Hey, we can hear you guys, and I think it's kind of inappropriate to use the word retarded.
I honestly hesitated there, but what else would you say?
I just wanted to. You could have called it dumb.
Fire dumb
Rod,
spray.
with your hair up like that, I mean, like you look like somebody's creepy uncle right now.
He is.
He kind of is.
He does
It's
look like,
so
he looks like
long.
It is long.
Jesus.
Good Lord, man. Don't you have some dog clippers there somewhere that you can use?
Maybe Butts can give me a haircut while we're
Pick a
here.
number 7 to that.
Oh, it sounds like fun. We can groom each other.
Is that yours or
Yeah,
that
that's
mine?
mine.
Ron needs a Furminator.
Utz clearly has a set of trimmers. Just use the same trimmer he's got.
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about barber shops being open, did you?
No, it makes me aerodynamic when I hunt.
You and I, we need every advantage we can get, man.
No sharp corners here.
Nope.
All right, there we go. Now I got a hat on my head. There we go.
There we go.
Now it just sticks out the side like Bozo. It's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, I was really hoping I'd see you this week and you'd be wearing one of those flat brimmed caps and it'd be like partying with Scott Linden, but
I had my mustache.
do not take candy from Uncle Ron.
Oh, I snuck on my wife's Facebook so I could read everything.
Last week.
Oh, some of the comments with your mustache were fantastic.
Where's Rock Guy at? Is he on tonight?
Spit my bourbon.
No, he hasn't been on yet. And God, what's the other guy's name? Hans, Hillbilly Hans.
Billy Hans, yeah.
Yeah, that guy's always.
Has he been on for a couple weeks? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
That's testosterone. Don't take candy from Uncle Ron. I've seen grouse crossing in the road. Off season, not yet. I can't wait to get this year. Kyle,
You and me both.
if it's season, you can shoot him off the road. I mean,
True.
I wouldn't do it.
Ron wouldn't do that.
No.
He'd put out a snare and some corn.
Word number 1 long spring.
Oh yeah.
Me and Utz wouldn't do that either. Ron never got mad at us for that. Not once.
The whole best part of that. Unsinger got up behind you and went like this, rolling the window down. And you're sitting there categorically, on, and us is behind you.
The best part though was the last one. I took a picture of 5 sharptails on a tailgate and I sent it to you. And about that time, Utzinger and his dog kick another one up out of the tree row and it comes flying directly over the pickup. And I shot it and it landed right next to me. And I picked it up, put it on the tailgate, and took a picture of the 6th.
I know. It was like editing. 5 and 6. What the fuck?
Well, we were actually scouting for duck hunting spots for me, which
That's
is
right.
We didn't find many ducks, but boy, we were finding sharptails left, right, and center. Holy shit!
At least Ron wasn't upset about it.
No.
I think it only took me maybe 14, 15 months to get over that.
The best reaction though was Brent Kroll from Brent. He texted me after he heard the episode and he's like, "Is this the Birds, Booze, and Bitching podcast?" Because Ron is kind of upset.
Well,
Best day ever, Ron. Best day ever.
Best day ever.
And we got to know how much fun Margarita Pat was.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was Pat earlier. What?
2 days before.
By the way, I'm still crushing his barbecue sauce recipe.
Are you really? That
yeah.
was really good.
What was that peanut thing he made too? He had
Those were good too.
Man, I should get him. We should. Yeah, we're gonna have to get that back.
Have
The
you
hell are
talked?
the peanut things?
6 months ago, probably.
You probably didn't get any, Tyler, because we ate them all.
We were in the meat locker.
The meat locker.
I was just going to ask you what the weather's been like out there, Tyler.
It's been good. Our hatch isn't. I mean, it's probably starting a little bit, but
Is June the critical month for sharptails?
well, yeah, but later in June for sharptails. The peak of the pheasant hatch is about the 15th of June.
Okay.
So we're kind of starting in that right now, but it's been good. We've gotten a little bit of rain. Nest and cover looks good.
Yeah.
According to my windshield and my legs, the bugs are out.
That's good.
There's definitely enough food around. So as long like next week, the beginning of next week, it looks pretty shitty. So like highs like 64 for a day or two.
Cool and wet.
Yeah, but it's only going to last for like 2 days, and it's going to be back up into the 80s again. So it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, it's kind of same here. It's been pretty mild. We've been getting some needed rain, but not like crazy, and it hasn't been cold. And I feel like I always hear that June is kind of the month for rough grouse. So I'd say things look pretty good at this point, but that could obviously change. It's only June 5th.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good year. On the way in tonight, when I was power sliding boats around corners, when everything was flying by the windows, I did see a couple pairs of Huns standing there, and they weren't sitting on nests yet. So
Really?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of ducks and geese around. The crops are all pretty much off and planted for the most part. And yeah, the moisture that we had last fall filled up all the old dry sloughs, but other than that, there's not any water standing in fields anymore or nothing. But yeah, there's on Utzinger's favorite waterfowl production area just down the road, there's probably 300 geese and a shitload of ducks sitting down there, and just tons and tons of little geese.
I do like that place.
That's where I saw the pair of Huns too.
I can walk home from. Note yourself. Charge your phone before you go hunting.
Me and Ron are sitting here drinking and just kind of having a good time. And like, God, shouldn't Utz be calling? Like, it's getting dark. Here he comes in a pair of waders carrying a dozen decoys and some ducks and a gun and a dog.
5 mil waders are super comfortable and not at all hot when you walk like
That's the key word. They're not called hikers. They're called waders.
In front of a retrieve, I'm taking a picture of my puppy, and then the phone just died, and I thought, oh, did I hit the power button? Nope, dead. Like, this could be a long walk. And like all good friends, they left you out there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about how they're like, wow, why isn't Utz back yet?
Well,
Nobody checked.
You were fine. I mean, you weren't that far away. We thought maybe that you were stuck in the slough, and we were going to have to go over there and shine you.
Somebody said, how far can you do what, a short hair?
Yeah, how high can a short hair fly on a check cord?
That was going to be my answer. How long is the check cord?
I'm a big fan of TJ.
Buy beer.
Huh.
See, that's a friend.
Hi.
That's
Yeah, we've met. Him and I, we've met.
He's from Wisconsin, ain't he?
Wisconsin.
I believe. Yeah.
Oh,
Your dog is still in Wisconsin, Ron?
Yeah, I called him the other day. He said she's almost steady to birds.
Almost house trained.
Almost. I said if you can't get her steady, at least get her house broke. I mean, we can figure out how to roll the Cato boards into that somehow.
She just lives there now. She's never coming home.
They call it a place board. You teach them to shit on it in the house. And you keep moving the board closer to the door. I think that's
Talking to Jordan yesterday, she said that he's pretty on point. She had
My
some.
wife does the same thing for me.
Really?
Yep.
no difference.
She's a fun little dog. Or she will be.
She will be. She will be. And I'll stay on her. She's gonna. He mentioned to me something in the text like, she won't be totally done, but close enough that if you keep working with her, she'll be fine. I'm like, oh boy.
Sounds like margin for error.
Sounds like Jordan. Sounds like Justin's got a Cocker Spaniel in his kennel.
Is she only going to be 2 this year, or is she 2?
She'll be 2. Oh, this month she's 2.
All right.
Oh, happy birthday, Taffy.
I don't think she's watching.
HBD, Taffy.
You don't know that.
I don't know that.
I
I mean,
asked-
she may miss Daddy.
I asked Jordan specifically if she could have the kennel closest to the television and the computer in case she wanted to write home or anything. And as so many kids that go off to school, I don't hear anything from her.
She's growing up. Just like Utz's kids. They don't want to have anything to do with him anymore. That's why he gets to play with us.
They came over tonight.
They dropped him
Really?
off. Well, they something about if this is the last time we see you alive, we wanted to say goodbye.
I got a ride here from my wife tonight.
And 2 kids.
Good idea.
After a few podcasts, she was like, I'm dropping you off and picking you up.
She's seen that before.
Been there, done that.
Confusing. I'm worth more dead than alive.
That is, yeah. That's
And she
saying
still
something.
dropped you off. That's really impressive.
I know.
How old
Yeah.
are your kids, Utz?
Oh, well, 12, 14, and 15.
12, 14,
All
15.
teacher babies, so they just had birthdays.
Ah,
Nice.
gotcha.
You timed that well.
Kind of had to.
I didn't have much. Well, I did have a choice in it, but no, I didn't. Yeah, no, it's fun. My oldest son, he shoots pistols with me. My daughter's my upland and duck hunter, and then my youngest is my fisherman. So I kind of, not all 3 do all of it, but I've got one for each of the fun sports I do. So
Perfect.
We've all had opportunities to check it out.
Bailey, she says, I'm hopping on quick for Nick's mustache update. Pretty impressive.
That's 2 weeks. 2 weeks for you there, Bailey.
Wait, let me get closer to the screen. I can't see it, Nick.
No.
Oh, there it is.
See?
Look at that.
I
Yeah.
thought it was dirt.
I'm not going to promise you
That's-
that it isn't like a Sharpie, but
That's a bingo
It is
square, isn't it?
visible. Say that again.
That's a bingo square, right? Nick's mustache.
I don't know if it was. There was
It
something
was a
about
bingo
mustache
square,
in
yeah.
there. Yeah. I haven't seen any bingo references yet.
I think everybody's at the lake.
Yeah.
I'm betting there's going to be a lot of people watching this on Sunday recorded and then drinking back.
That's all right.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah, see,
I was at the lake. It was fun.
Right. It says Ron remembers you if you bring him a case of Miller Lite, which he did.
Walleye fishing today, Tyler,
Mm-hmm.
and
Ooh, gas.
good.
Yeah. So I thought that I broke my boat on the highway on the way back. So I had a semi pulled out in front of me. I slammed on the brakes, and all of a sudden my motor's like trimmed all the way up and pushing it down on my cover. I was like, what's going on? So I'm back there. I'm actually holding down on the trim button on the motor so it doesn't burn the motor up. I had to have Adam climb up in the front of the boat, and the trolling motor slid up and hit the trim button all the way in the bow of the boat. But yeah, it was I wasn't sure what the hell was going on there. Shit, boys, I'm hammered. It's a solid Letterkenny reference right there, Andrew. Good for you, man. But yeah, the walleye fishing was good. Utz, when you were fishing the other day when I talked to you, what were you guys fishing for?
we were bass fishing.
You guys do pretty good?
Yeah, we did all right. I make it a point to make sure I outfish my son all the time, which is a lie because he's getting better than me.
That happens. You just throw them in the lake every once in a while. Teach him who's boss.
I don't know, man. There's some dinosaurs in our lake. You ought to see the size of the snapping turtles.
Really?
No, but I pride myself on being a man up until you see one of those dinosaurs come out.
They're kind of They're freaky, actually. They can be.
Have you guys ever eaten one?
No.
Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge.
I've heard turtle soup is really good. I have no idea how you make it or how you catch it or
my old Red Wing boot and make soup out of it too, but why?
well, I mean, yeah, fair enough. I hear it's good and I'm curious.
Let's see everyone's weapon of choke and load of choice for pheasant, chuck, or grouse and such, and why you use it. Wow. Max wants us to actually get some content out here.
Yeah, he
All
does.
of it. Yep.
Mouth plastics.
Turtle soup tonight. TJ.
So last year, all I shot was 20 gauge. I went from 20 gauge. I shot nothing but 20 gauge and modified choke, and I just changed shells. I went from 7.5s in early season in September to 5s, 3-inch 5s for pheasants, and then switched back to 7.5s for quail again.
That's simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Never changed guns. Never changed chokes.
I shot a 20 gauge with. I actually was intending to change my chokes, but I never did, and shot a skeet, an improved cylinder choke in my 20 gauge, and shot 7.5 the whole season. But that's I was out in North Dakota hunting early season Sharpies, shot 7.5 there, and then basically the rest of my season was rough grouse and woodcock. So that's pretty. You don't have to get too fancy with that stuff, but yeah, open choke, skeet, improved cylinder at 7.5 shot. That's all I shot.
What did you shoot, Dave?
Well, 20 gauge for up.
Charles Daly.
Charles Daly, 20 gauge,
I knew
over
that.
under. And then my wife bought me the matching 12 this year, so I shot that while my daughter shot the 20.
Nice.
So only because the 12's a little heavy for her. I would have preferred the 20. Improved modified, no choke. And then I've got I shot 12 gauge for waterfowl.
Wait a minute. So you're shooting open cylinder and improved modified?
No, it's an over-under, so improved and then a modified. So
Okay. I got you. No, yeah.
The gun it came that way, and I thought, whatever, you hit them. But it's
Right.
bad to hit a woodcock within like 10 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be like what's left in that chew bag.
And I can't tell you what I shot for duck loads because it depends on if I'm diver hunting or early season. So
Yeah. I shot a Beretta early on until I found out CZ was going to be my sponsor. I quickly changed over to my CZ Sharptail just to make a point. And I shoot everything in this shot. I don't like have a go-to. Like if I go out to Tyler's or I go out to South Dakota, I'm going to shoot 5-shot. And if I hunt here, grouse and woodcock, I like 7-shot. It's hard to find, but 7, just that nice number.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll kill a grouse or a woodcock. Neither of those birds are hard to kill. Let's be honest.
No.
They're harder to hit than they are to kill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say you shoot for late season pheasants, Tyler? 5-shot?
Yeah. Yep. 3-inch 5s, ounce and a quarter of shot, 3-inch 5s. Yep.
And that's your 20 gauge.
Mm-hmm.
Douglas, what did you miss your grouse with this year?
Backridge.
Yeah.
No. I didn't miss it. I flipped it over
I said
backwards.
Douglas, not
Oh,
Tyler.
what did I miss? I thought you were talking to me. I'm sorry.
I was using a 12 gauge 7.5 for everything this year, but I have my Drake will be here on Tuesday, so I'm super excited.
Drake? by any
CZ
chance?
Drake. I got the all-terrain finish. 20
That's
gauge.
another commission coming our way, I think.
Yeah.
Nice.
We sold him on it.
Yep. So I'm super excited about that.
The Drake isn't the one with it's got a single trigger, right?
Yeah.
CZ makes an over-under. I don't know if they'd still sell it, but they had an over-under that had a double trigger for a while.
I wouldn't want that anyway.
Oh, yeah, I want to say it was called like the Mallard or something. It was kind of odd. You don't really see that too often.
Yeah. I was gonna do the redhead, but I don't know if I'd like the injectors. I think I like the extractor verse. So
Easier to pick up the shells.
yep. So I'm excited. I'll give you a report next week.
All terrain, did you say?
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna use it for duck hunting, maybe goose hunting too.
Yeah.
I heard a little rumor that somebody was getting a 28 gauge Ultimate Supreme CZ.
Supreme Field?
No, it's somebody in this room was getting a 28 gauge with a left-handed stock on it.
Oh.
Grade 3 Turkish walnut. I'm just saying it's possible.
Just something like that, just
Supreme
a
Field?
little guy.
Huh?
The Supreme Field?
Yeah.
Those
So
are nice.
I don't know if it's really going to happen or not, but just in case it doesn't happen,
You get that Watson Bros?
Kirby's gun came through.
Oh, I was just listening to that podcast today, actually, believe it or not.
Look at that beautiful wood on that.
That's got some nice streaks in it. Wow. Wow, that's
Pat,
Real nice. Real
Pat,
nice.
Pat, you are wrong, man. 20 gauge is every bit as deadly as a 12.
that's a 12 gauge.
It's a 12 gauge 2.5-inch shell.
Yep.
So the problem is you
Nice
can't
to
go to
know.
Walmart and get your ammo. But yeah, it's from 19. Bill looked it up. 1928 or 1938. God, then I looked up Watson Brothers. They're still in business.
English?
Shit, are they expensive shotguns?
Yeah. Anybody that's still around is charging premiums for handmade stuff. Wow, that's a beauty.
It is.
What does it weigh? 6.5?
No, 6, a little over. Yeah, just a little over 6.
All right. Oh, nice.
So it's not ultralight, but it's
But for a 12 gauge, I mean, you don't really want. I mean, unless you're shooting one of those little 2-inchers, but
the only reason I did it is because it said left-handed, and I said, well, I'm not going to have to go out and have it cast, know. So
I couldn't have made very many of those left-hand casts back then.
No, I mean, only 10% of the population is going to be left-handed,
yeah.
Right.
And I don't think it's 1 in 10 guns get made left-handed.
No, and back then, I think they were
Back
just
then it-
cast neutral for pretty much everything anyway. Weren't they?
Well, back then, almost every gun was made for somebody.
Right. They were all made by so
Oh,
you did
custom,
see
yeah.
a lot. You saw more custom dimensions, really.
And the Catholic nuns made everybody go right-handed, so fuck it, nobody was left-handed. And when they did shoot left-handed, they couldn't. They were right-eye. They shot right-handed. They were left-eye dominant. And they couldn't
Those
hit.
cross stocks, yeah.
Yeah,
You guys talked about that in the beginning of the episode.
yeah.
I saw one of those I'm pretty sure I think Del Whitman, the last time I was at his shop, somebody asked him to make one. So I saw one where it's like the stock is totally swept over. It's crazy.
That way you could look with your right eye and be left-handed.
Yeah.
No way. Never
Yeah.
seen one of those.
Yeah.
They're real rare, but people did have them made.
Yeah.
I think I'll have another.
Gerald's got a nice gun from Kirby too.
Yeah,
William Evans, 2.5 16 gauge, huh? Nice.
I know.
That's
What's
nice.
up, Gerald? Gerald was on last night on my Zuma Doom.
Like that.
Are you all hungover again today, Ronald?
No, I got 2 little naps in today, and I wasn't really hungover in the morning. I was just
By this
tired.
time of the day, he's ready to rip again.
Yeah, I wouldn't even
He's been
know.
ripping since like 3
This is-
p.m.
This is the time of day to ask if you're hungover. I know I'm drinking.
I've shot an SBE3 for ducks and geese. Never had any. They were great.
SB3.
What's your duck gun these days, Tyler?
Mine right now. So I have a Stoger.
Semi-auto?
I have a Stoger semi-auto that I've
Okay.
had for about a decade. Never cleaned it, not once, and that thing still cycles like a champ. Like it's got a Carlson choke tube that's cross-threaded in the barrel. You can't get it out. It's seized in there. Oh, just shoot! Oh, I kill everything with that thing.
Nice.
Yeah, it's time for a new one. In fact, I was gonna. I got to send an email to Dave Miller and see what he's got for a waterfowl gun. I got to get something before season starts.
Hey, do you guys listen to what's his name? Oh, God.
Don't look at me.
Give me the back of the head so this word comes out, will you? Brent.
Give him a good one.
You got it?
Yeah. I lost
And then he
it.
lost
Lost it.
Very dangerous hands if you want me to hit you in the back.
Just a light tap. Jar.
Use the ringed hand.
It's my bottle opener.
This is embarrassing. Or,
This is the best. This is the best TV ever.
Doug, we need like elevator music.
Right? Yeah, Jeopardy music for sure.
Oh, do you need a little?
I can't remember.
Let me push the button on the soundboard. Oh, it's not.
Reed Bryant from Orbis. You guys ever
Oh,
hear?
Yeah.
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 So he's had I haven't looked in the last couple of weeks, but he had a kind of a cool series going on. They just broke down one gun at a time for the whole podcast.
Oh, with the guy in the gun shop?
Yeah, and somebody just put on there that they had a Sweet 16. That made me think of it.
I got
And then
one.
there was an episode on the old Model 21. There was an episode on the 870. It's really interesting. I mean, they really got deep into the woods on one gun. And
Yeah.
I got one of the old original Sweet 16s from like 19. It was Belgium made, so it was probably pre-war. It was my grandpa's, and I'm going to shoot it this year for the opening day of Sharptail season.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. It's really
I
nice.
knew you're gonna put it back in the truck.
I'm just going to carry it on one walk. Like that's enough. I remember shooting that thing as a kid. I never shot it very well. I mean, remember those old humpbacks? Like it's just weird to look at.
Yeah, it's not a pretty gun in my eyes. It's just not.
Yeah.
Right. It's nostalgic.
It's neat looking. It's like neat looking, but it's like
Mhm.
it's like if you went to another planet and you're like, oh, what do your guns look like? And they'd have this big square back on them. You're like, I guess we're on Mars. Things are gonna look a little bit.
I'm pretty sure that YouTube would kick us off if we started playing Turnpike Troubadours, so we'll probably pass on that tonight.
You can hum it for us, Tyler.
I
You can
could.
do it. You could.
Let me think. Well,
No.
it took Ron a long time to come up with Reed Bryant. It's going to take me a while to come up with the melody of a Turnpike Troubadours song now.
Yeah, I got a little stuck there. It's deep, deep, deep. So this is stuff I want to ask, just because we're sitting here, Doug. If Fridays things are starting to open up and people are going camping and people are getting out, are we seeing? Will we know at the end of the day like what this Friday is compared to the other ones?
It's
Like-
down.
It's about 50% right now.
Even from the beginning.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
I mean, not that we're making any money with it, but it just if there was a night that would work better.
Tuesday seemed to be the most popular vote. Tuesday night.
Tuesday's a good vote for me because Wednesday I got NAVDA and Thursday I could do my Zoom.
Yeah.
So,
Tuesday was the most popular.
was
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it works for me.
I'm down with Tuesdays, except for next Friday. We gotta. In fact, I gotta send an email tonight, but we got a pretty big guest coming on next Friday. So
Big time.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
We're just
Mhm.
teasing it for now.
Whisper it, Tyler.
so when you're out hunting, what are you hunting on?
I got it.
Okay.
Right.
We should try to make a riddle for people to come up with.
Well, here's the riddle. What well-known person in the conservation and outdoor world was named after a stripper?
Or a scented candle. We're not sure. Or a scented candle.
You see,
Doug, that's the funniest
Oh.
thing you've said in 2 weeks.
here's a good stripper name right there. That's my stripper name.
Vanilla sugar.
Sugar.
I should say Vanilla Thunder, but yeah.
Recently?
No.
Okay.
No.
Were you guys just talking about strippers? Because I want in if you were.
I have a 1904 number Model 5. What is that?
I don't know what a Model 5 is.
No, it's an
1904
Auto
Auto
5.
5.
Auto 5.
5. Auto
I don't
5.
know what that is.
I don't either. Well, tell him. Oh, he can't come on the picture with us. Damn it.
Model number 104. It's not a Winchester, is it?
Well, if it's that old, it's probably,
Yeah.
probably a
Well, the
Winchester.
Winchesters, they had some guns that were like the 1901
Yeah,
or whatever.
It's got to be a Winchester or a Remington would be my bet.
Mhm.
Ben wants
Or
us
a Browning, I guess.
Hunter's Happy Hour meetup.
We've been
Hunter's Happy
talking
Hour
about
meetup.
that.
Well, that's called a pint night. We just got to figure out when and where.
Yep.
Oh,
You guys let
Auto
me know.
5, Browning A5. There we
Oh,
go.
okay.
Oh, okay. Browning Auto 5. Well,
That's how smart we are.
that thing was up there?
Yeah, just to make them.
Can you hear my dogs whining?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Every week.
Zara's in heat, and the boys are just staring like,
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You got to be careful. I had an experience with that once.
Yeah, heard about it. I've seen the results.
Yeah.
How the puppies doing?
Pretty good. I talked to you about it a little bit today. I've never had two puppies at the same time before, and I've never had like brothers or sisters. And I learned pretty quick that I need to take them out by themselves, not with their sister. Because if they're out with me, they pay attention to me and they kind of want to go with me and I'm their buddy. But as soon as I let both of them out together, they're like, who is that fat guy yelling at us? And what the fuck does he want? Because I'm gone. Like, yeah, like they're just off doing their thing, you know. But there's a bunch of ducks nesting around here and they are just terrorists on ducks right now. They know where they live and they're down there pointing and jumping on it's been a zoo.
So did you end up keeping two of those puppies?
No, I ended up keeping one, but our buddy from over in Michigan, Bruce, he's keeping his here until the 1st of October.
Okay.
So, yeah, Cooter's getting bigger.
Did you name it?
No, I did not name it Cooter. No, I named her Rosie. Dakota's Prairie Rose would be her official name, but I'm just going to call her Rosie for short.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
they're doing inside jokes and not sharing.
I should have sent one to Dave. That's what I should have done.
Dave Dean?
Yeah. He needs that like a whole head. You mean not a cool dog, a puppy.
Yeah, we're talking about puppy, yeah.
Right, puppy.
If I sit right here, it looks like I have a crown on. Yeah. Like pheasant feather crown.
I told you that the other day. When you get your head right there, looks like you're wearing a nice Sunday bonnet to church or something.
Either that or you're sitting on the Iron Throne.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah. Totally what it is. What on earth?
Sure.
Oh.
What did I miss?
All right.
Those are sisters. Sure. Okay.
I don't know what about Candy. Is that your name or your profession?
Hey, I had a piece of candy today.
That's the one.
Tasted the way I imagined.
I think those kinds of candies are called edibles.
Yeah, you can see the way they taste.
Call that dog Cooter. Had to put the captain down. Is he talking about Oregon?
By the way, I don't mind being here, but it was so much fun last week with your listeners reading everything they said.
Right, because I can't. All of a sudden, I miss a bunch of comments.
I mean, I feel bad saying it, but they're pretty fun to listen to. Or read, I should say.
You sit out on your deck last week and just sit there and read and giggle at us, or what?
Yeah, the whole reference to World War II and a certain leader with Ron, I almost spit my bourbon out. Terrible. Terrible.
Yes, Glenn. Dave Dean is the one who roped a Brittany to his belt loop. That is the same guy.
Yeah, but he's got a lab now.
He does have a lab now, yep.
I have a 2-year-old GWP that I think that I introduced to birds a little early. Advice on keeping his attention with a bumper more. No.
What's he doing? What's he doing around the birds to make you think that you introduced him early? Is what I would be curious about.
Yeah, is he acting like there's like a snake in the grass syndrome kind of a deal?
I just talked to another guy. His name wasn't Trayton. Similar problem. He said his dog will pick up a bird and it won't touch a bumper. And I'm like, that's okay. You don't hunt bumpers.
Yeah. Stop playing with bumpers.
But I'm getting ready for a NAV to NA test. I'm like, well, you got a problem.
Well, only for the test, but it's not. I mean,
it's not a problem. Not a real problem.
Yeah.
Not in the hunting world. No.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Navda, but you can't eat a ribbon, or I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, we don't get ribbons.
You get the plaque.
All my plaques are down. Where's your plaques at?
I don't have any plaques. It's all in my teeth from the red man I chew.
What was the steadiness level of the best dog you ever hunted with? Steady to
wing shot and fall?
Not hunted with. No, I got him ready for that for tests. But I mean, right from test day to hunt day, be steady to wing. But if I shot, boom, he's off. Even if I missed, which is what I'm known for, it's off to the races. But he had a good whoa command, so I could say, no bird. And I could call him off with no bird command like he would in a test. You know, he'd get a wild bump. So Yeah, but that'll even go downhill. You get it to that level of steadiness, but if you don't pay attention to it, to me, you're going to be like 99% of the dogs out there. The dog's going to let you do the flushing. And when the bird takes wing, the dog's going to take foot. That's happened. That's most of them. I would say it's your average dog out there.
Sounds like Traden is more training that dog for waterfowl hunting more so than upland hunting.
Oh, could be.
It was a DWP, I think he said.
Yeah, wire-haired.
Yeah.
Traden, write that up kind of in a good email, and try to give, age, date, where you live, your social security number and credit card number, if possible. And give us the backstory. Give us the backstory on it.
So if you go down, he commented here again. He said, if you go down to the bottom, it says, if I have a pigeon out in the field, spring a trap, he'll be game on point. If I transfer that method over to
I don't know what he means by a number.
Maybe
it's supposed to be bumper.
He probably types as bad as you and me, Dave.
Oh, I gotcha.
Well, I have glasses, but we were going to sit across from each other. But
you just couldn't bring it?
Yeah, I'm good.
I get you a pair of cheaters.
No, I'm good. This is good.
Oh, yeah, you can't see anything.
I'm just going to squint. This is great.
So I'm guessing you just mean. Yeah, man, I'm not 100% sure exactly what he means.
Anyway, Traden, you can hear us. I know you can. Write this without alcohol, with punctuation and commas, and I'll put that question to Justin. It'll be a good.
I think number's supposed to.
Yeah, I think so.
But you got to spell bumper if you mean bumper.
But I don't know what you would be transferring as far as like a bird in a trap with a bumper.
Yeah,
I think he's putting a bumper out in the field and doing a blind retrieve or something, trying to get him to pick it up.
Oh, like a.
And it could be if he's using the same place that he's training for a bird, he's not old enough to delineate between trying to find a bird versus a bumper. He might not understand what is being asked of him.
Could be.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Most things that go wrong with dogs are confused. That's how these things happen. Dog doesn't understand. He's confused, and you start pushing it, and you actually create a problem because the dog was confused in the first part.
Yeah, there's a misstep somewhere or something.
To Ben's question, no, it's not too late. You don't train a dog to hunt. You train obedience.
Yeah.
The dog, a 2-year-old GSP, if it doesn't hunt, I'd be shocked.
Take him hunting, see what you got.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if it hunted 40.
Did I say 4? Or with?
No.
Or same day? Or
It'll hunt. I just didn't say it'll hunt with you.
Right. Dave still got his. I got my ass chapped about those sharp tails. Dave still got his ass chapped about 12 years with short hairs.
More angry and bitter than Ron.
Right. It took me 14 months to get over. It's going to take you 14 years to get over.
Terrible.
What was your pet bills for the porcupine year?
Well, my kids are all going to junior college. I'll say it that way. This program in Michigan. So.
Did you ever teach your kids to be or send them to vet school? That way you could get some free work done.
That'd be
Believe
nice.
it or not, I have my daughter who is just bent on becoming a veterinarian. So I'm pretty excited about that.
There you go.
We just got her chickens. The Labradors enjoy the chickens. I'm glad they're safe.
They like enjoy eating them or chasing them,
I'm a little
or
concerned when they start free running.
that. Jesus, what is that?
What is that?
Oh, it's Doug.
Family's home.
Yep.
Hey, Doug, get control of your kitchen. Okay?
Tom,
Yeah.
are you did you rearrange your walls and put up new wall panels or something?
Yes, I did, by the way. Oh,
I was
look.
gonna say that does look pretty good.
Looks really good.
I put in like some paneling,
Yep.
and I kind of took some of the brick-brack down, and then I did like a wainscot with the rest of it, and then I'm going to repaint that wall. That doesn't hang it. Yeah, we're just sprucing up a little bit,
It's good, man. Good for you.
Yeah.
You're finding all kinds of shit to keep you busy during this whole thing, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm retired, man.
He didn't claim the table we're sitting at yet, but
Probably not since I was there in March.
I don't know. There's enough room over there
Yeah.
for one person.
yeah, you
I
like my bag? It's
don't know who Tony G is, but Tony G sounds a lot like. That's a
funny.
good comment right there.
Older dogs. Is that noisy?
That's Doug. Doug's
Doug,
being noisy.
Doug, tell your children to be quiet.
I'll mute myself.
What is a good way to get a pup to work and trained without having my number one on the bench
all fall.
Where do you see that question?
I don't see that question.
Rod Niebuhr? Can you pull that up, Doug?
Are you way behind? Oh yeah, you're a few up there. Yeah,
I must be way behind. I didn't hit new comments.
a little bit. Yeah. Trained without having my number one on the bench all fall. Oh, so I think so I'm gathering he's got a new pup and he's got his ace dog, in the hole. So he wants to get his new dog exposed without having the number one. I mean, I guess if it's really a pup, the pup should only really need short bursts, right? Like short, frequent bursts. So you should still have time to get your other one some field time. But
Yeah.
I'm assuming a lot there.
Just don't expect anything
Yeah.
at all.
I feel like that was really good advice. Here's the other side. I just let them all run together and see what
There you
happens.
go. There you go.
But the first advice was best by far.
No bench time for your number one if you just let
you're
them
not
all
good.
loose.
If you're not good at following advice, I'd go with Dave's idea.
Yeah.
That's sink or swim. That's what I say about pups in the house. You know what I mean? Either catch on or you don't get to go hunting.
I've got a pup coming home this summer, so I'll be dealing with the same thing, getting the new pup exposure and having my other dog. He'll spend some time in the truck, but not a ton.
Ben, I hunted with Ron and Dave together. I've hunted with Ron a couple times now, and I've hunted with Nick separately, but we've never all of us hunted together. And I've never hunted with Doug.
No.
Well, that's going to have to be changed at some point.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Well, Doug's
we're,
coming out this fall.
Yeah, that's gonna happen for sure. So when we hit second hour, what I'm thinking about doing is there's a link that we use to get the four of us into this room, and I'm going to throw the link into the comments. And the first three people that click on it, we'll kind of add them. Well, we can fit. We can just kick them out and rotate them out.
Oh yeah.
So we'll just keep rotating people through, and we'll
ask a question, kind of a deal.
Yeah, absolutely, something a little bit different.
That's cool.
Fun.
So we'll do that right at the top of the hour. I'll get the link.
A chance to join Hunter's Happy Hour. Wow.
Oh,
Not,
Andrew.
not for Andrew though.
Is that what you're
Andrew's getting booted from the comments. And goodbye.
How close to you does he live, Doug? How well?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Andrew, I think he's in Kalkaska, so he's like 35 minutes from me.
Okay.
Doug, how's the weather been where you're at? You're in grouse country.
Yeah, it's been really hot and dry. We've gotten a little bit of rain today, a tiny bit of rain last week, but we are in desperate need of some right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get all those cherries to grow up around there.
That's no cherry festival this year, so I don't think it matters.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. A lot of hops up there too, isn't there?
There is, yeah. There's a ton of hops. They're putting in. It seems like every time I turn around, they're putting in a new one. Andrew in Brilliant, Ohio. Oh, different Andrew I'm thinking of. Which Andrew am I looking at?
Hour 2, I better pour one.
Yeah, I say you better do that. So, does anybody want to take a quick break before I drop the link in? Anybody need to?
I could take a little pee break.
All right, man.
Sounds good. Reconvening.
Rocky, you're a teenager. Yes, Jackie now. No, they just see a dead screen. We're not that fancy. I guess Doug.
Hillbilly Hans. The girls are all taking potty breaks.
Yeah, they don't make them good. All right, you maniacs. That's enough. Come here. Come here. We're enough. We're enough. Come here. Bravo. Let's go. That head. Water?
It's going. The training is going well. We have about 4 days left on double T.
I hear that's popular. Drinking water in between. I should probably clear some of the dead soldiers up here. I don't know why.
Tyler, I think we better put some work into porn star scented candle for next week.
I think so too. What are you drinking, Utz? You drinking beer?
No, I got a little Captain and Coke in this one, and then obviously the other.
I still got heartburn from the other.
Here's a bingo square.
You don't have any Tums in that
Oh
watermelon.
boy! Yeah, I got a bottle of gin for you when you come out here this fall.
Oh yeah.
Called Monkey Gin or something like that. It's supposed to be really good.
Never tried it.
Why is it all you need to do is give something a silly name and it sells?
Yeah,
It's all marketing. You can't taste it in the store, you know.
Podcast.
I never looked at it that way. Never looked at it that way. What? Good point.
Hopefully that doesn't turn into a cluster.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, what are the chances?
Anything that we all do, a cluster? Come on. Not
I can
likely.
just, it's like everybody just sitting there hitting refresh trying to.
What's Tyler drinking?
I got a Coors Light and a tequila on the rocks.
Same tequila as last week. That brown stuff. Oh yeah.
The Don Julio Añejo. It's pretty good. I'm almost done with it.
Let me ask you, Tyler. You're known to drink anything that's alcoholic. I mean,
Yeah.
you have, like no boundaries,
So,
right?
well, no, that's not true at all. So I really like scotch and bourbon and
And
vodka and tequila and whiskey.
What else is there?
Basically not beer or gin. I don't like beer or gin very
You
much.
don't like gin?
Not really, no. Occasionally if I'm golfing.
Who's in? Who's in?
Oh, hello.
Hey,
You're trading.
I'm with the bad punctuation here.
Oh, come on. Not only bad punctuation, you can't grow a beard either.
Oh, I know. I'm a little past.
God.
better than mine.
What? I don't know. Probably what yours will look like in about 6 months.
I know,
Try
I don't know
12.
what,
Try 12 months.
That's a good
I got
COVID-19
bad
hairdo going on too.
What's that?
That's a good COVID-19 hairdo you got going on too.
Yeah, that's
I'm a
quality.
fan.
Yeah.
I'm sympathetic to that, though. I mean, there's a lot of hair.
There's
A lot of hair hasn't been cut in a while.
Yeah. But so the question I had for you guys about the whole dog and the bumper.
Yep.
So I got my dog out in the field, and I can't usually get my hands on pigeons all the time. But when I do, I have a trap from a friend that I can use to release. Sorry, I'm grilling steaks here too.
Is it a remote control trap or is it a foot launcher?
It's a remote control, so I can
Okay.
actually put it out in the field and be back with him. So when we do that, I will shoot the pigeons and kill them. He'll be steady to wing fall, and I can tell him I'll release him. He'll go get it, bring it back. When
That's
I
good.
try and do this with a bumper, he'll look at me like I'm dumb.
Yeah, that's because he's had the real thing.
You're
Right.
launching a bumper out of a trap.
No, I'm tossing the bumper.
Tossing it.
Oh, Okay.
The bird's like $100 bill, and the bumper is
Right.
like a
yeah.
quarter.
Different excitement levels.
He's had the real thing, and unless
Okay.
you can get a bumper to flop around on the ground, he's not going to pick it up.
Okay.
How old is he?
He is 1 year old.
Dude, that's impressive that you got him steady, that you can
I would
release
say,
him on
yeah.
command. That's going to be a good dog for you.
Thank you. He does have meningitis, so we have a little bit of
Dogs get
Where is it?
meningitis?
yeah. We actually found his litter mate, and she ended up having to be put down because of it.
Wow.
Yikes.
Like spinal
But we took him to the U of M early enough. He's on steroid treatment, and I mean, I still plan on hunting him.
For sure.
Yeah.
He still loves birds.
One question for you. Will he retrieve bumpers out of water?
He will. He loves the water.
Okay. It's a field thing then.
Then quit throwing the bumpers in the field. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. And then, is it to get him into the water? I commented in the comments before, I would like to upland hunt, but I do know we're going to be more waterfowl hunting just due to the location. We're in central Minnesota, right on the Mississippi here. So we will be doing more waterfowl, but to get him into the water with birds, could I still use that launcher with pigeons
Sure.
and kind of just set it up at an angle so they'll launch and fall right into the water?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Awesome.
Well, and to be fair, you're a step ahead of Ron. Ron had to shove his finger up Bravo's ass to get him to jump in the water to go retrieve a bumper. So, like, you're ahead of the game here.
Yeah, I think, when he was a pup, I just took him to water right away and he walked in, swam, and now we can't get him out of there if he sees it.
That's good.
Let me take a page out of Justin's playbook. If you've had that dog in front of a bunch of birds and pigeons and he's steady, you don't, at 1 year old, he already loves birds. You just need to work on his obedience. And I would work him. I'd set yourself up a blind type situation training, have
Like a mud hut.
take shots, get him to be literally steady to noise, steady to environment. He already loves birds. You don't have to worry about that.
Right.
You don't even have to keep putting birds in the equation. Put the obedience in the equation and getting them used to the boat or getting them used to the blind, getting them used to other dogs doing their work. Because you could be hunting on the Mississippi and somebody else's dog's out there swimming.
For sure.
And all of a sudden your dog loses his freaking mind because you never covered that. But you're like, damn it, I threw a lot of pigeons for him.
Right.
Let's see them steaks. How are the steaks looking?
What do we got?
They're looking good. I don't know how to flip the camera around here.
Just turn your phone.
There we go. Back camera. Done. Here are.
Oh, those dudes
Yeah.
are good.
Tyler's in his truck driving to Minnesota.
I'm closer. I'm going to get there first.
They're just about done here.
Oh man, it sounds like you're gonna have a fun fall. That sounds like you got a pretty good dog there. If he's only a year old and he's already doing all that stuff.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope to make as many memories as I can with him.
For sure.
Yeah.
But,
Sounds like a dog that you need to just take hunting as much as possible this fall. I mean, you got a lot of stuff done already.
Look at the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a good looking dog.
This is Odin.
Odin.
Isn't that one of the Greek gods or mythology? Odin? Yeah.
Yes, it is the
No, it's a Norse god.
Oh, Norse.
Scandinavian.
Norse god.
Yeah,
Nice.
Norse.
Odin.
But
Well, you'll have to
thank
take
you,
some
guys. I
pictures.
really
You'll have to take some pictures and send it in for to whichever podcast, or if we're still doing this in the fall, you'll have to send us some pictures.
Yeah, I'll send them to all you guys.
Make sure you
I
have
love
fun
listening to the
too.
shows.
Yeah, it's
Make sure you have fun with the pup.
Yeah.
It's I got the
yeah.
other perspective. It's a year old. You're
Yeah.
gonna do some training this summer.
Don't do too much.
Yeah, this fall should be fun and exposure. Make sure if you've got a training club, you're not putting preconceived notions of other people's dogs on what yours should be doing.
Yep.
Take time, relax, and just have fun.
Yep.
And make sure
You're going to end up like me and us. We ain't got very good dogs, but we have fun.
Good. I love it. That's what I want.
good, and make sure you hunt with people that understand it.
Okay.
That's what's most important. If you're going to grab a partner, make sure they're not stressed out about a dog breaking or a mistake or whatever. They should want your pup to succeed. So if you have to go solo, you'll have to go solo, but just have fun with the pup.
Okay.
Good luck.
Good luck, bud. Is that TJ?
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, jeez. Long-time listener, first-time caller. What's up?
Love it. Love it.
Ron didn't finish this story. I seen him on Meat Eater, and I'm sitting there not with my now ex-wife, and I'm like, that's somebody I could drink beer with. Yes. So here he's going to be at the grouse camp.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I got this planned.
In
He likes his
Wisconsin.
Miller Lite, so I'm gonna roll up there with a suitcase of Miller Lite, and I told him that. And I made some homemade moonshine after that Utz episode where you guys got all shankered up on it. So he's off in his own corner with his own crowd. I hear him. I'm like, all right, I got this. So I come rolling up with the suitcase and the frickin' tin of frickin' moonshine. I stick my hand out. What's going on, Ron? Here's your beer. Here's the moonshine. What's up? And we proceeded to drink a little heavily. I still made it out duck hunting though that morning. It was opening day of northern season.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
What were you doing duck hunting at grouse camp?
I never grouse hunted before, but I had duck hunted before, damn it, and I hadn't been taught yet.
All right. Fair enough.
And I had a lab, one of those bad people. I had a lab, a semi-auto. I was horrible.
Go lab. I love it. Go lab.
I bet he could find his dog at the end of the day. He didn't have to
Yeah, because I panicked. I panicked when his bell fell off. I didn't have a replacement, and he was 1 year old and just streaking through the woods. I'm like, nope, I'm going where I can see him. Nope, nope.
Ron is the king of the spit take.
Is that a square?
I got a question for Utz since he's been quiet and just staring at the. I got a question for Utz. Since you've been out west duck hunting multiple times, like, you hear anything from the guys that go out there and it looks like a goddamn TV show with more decoys than any of us have together, or you got guys that just go out there and puddle jump. Like, what do you do? I'm sure, Tyler up by you said you can puddle jump. I've kind of hunted south of you by Garrison Dam, and you can puddle jump, but then you hit the ones where you should throw out some decoys, and if you got a good dog, you're all right, but you damn near need a canoe. Like, what do you, depending on what state, what do you run, Utz?
Well, I do two different styles, but if you're going to go after, like, puddle ducks, I don't use a large spread. I never have.
You keep talking.
I kind of feel like everybody else does. With my diver decoys, it's a little bit different, but I think you're asking more along the puddle lines than diver because you've got your dog with you, I'm assuming. And like Tyler's place, I try to find somewhere, depending upon where you're hunting, that isn't just marrow bottom mush that's up to your armpits, that you have to have a good steady dog behind you. I try to find a lesser available place, maybe not as good, but you just sit longer. I mean, I'm just real patient. The other myth, too, is everyone thinks you have to get up super early to shoot a bird. You just need to be patient. You can actually sleep in and go later. It just takes longer to fill your bag limit.
The last 2 seasons, at least here in southern Wisconsin, guys had better luck from 9 o'clock to noon than opening to like 9, 10 o'clock.
So, TJ, some of the things over here, just speaking North Dakota in general, there's a bingo square for whoever's still playing that game. So like years like last year when it's super, super wet, hunting water isn't very effective. Because there's just water everywhere. So the ducks can literally just lift off one slough, they go a quarter mile, there's another slough to sit on. That's when you need a lot of decoys and you field hunt is a lot more effective. So up here, the times of the year that I really like hunting water would be when everything's starting to freeze up. Like right before you get a big hard freeze and some of the smaller stuff is just kind of open and ducks are kind of congregating. You can do really well water hunting then. But Utz is right though. Like the way that the birds work here most of the time is they'll lift up off the water before, like right at shooting time, like a half hour before sunrise. And they're going to sit in those fields and they're going to eat until like 10. So like you can get up at 8:30 and you can go out and you can set up your decoys. And as long as you're there until, noon or 1 o'clock, those ducks are going to be coming back in there to land.
Right on.
Yeah,
right on.
We're not afraid to flush ducks off a pond either.
Nope.
And you
hell,
back 1, 2 at a time. You know what I mean? Ideally, you don't have a large flock. You want one.
Right. Oh, so is what I was thinking you meant there is like, okay, so if you drive past a slough and there's 500 ducks sitting on one, like on one particular slough, and you jump them off and don't shoot at them, go throw out like literally a dozen decoys and hide in the weeds and hide your truck. Like get in there in like 5 minutes. And those ducks are going to come back to that same slough a lot of times.
Right on.
I'd say some more bad advice for you from me. If you're traveling to another state, go ahead and shoot the roost. I don't care what anyone says.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Goddamn tourist.
I have no problem with it, man. We hunt cranes on the roost.
Road hunt, right? You don't live there. Who cares?
I don't know if we answered your question at all. Did that help or not? Or
No, just
Oh, hell yeah.
made him want to drink more.
Doug, you going to be in any tests this season?
I'm hoping to. I've got all my buddies were down in Indiana today. I'm
gonna
hoping to
run the
run
SRT.
some in the which one?
You're going to run the Super Retriever trials.
That's the goal actually. That's what we're training for. But no prayer of winning. But yeah, I'm probably around August. I'll probably start hitting. I got a couple things I got to clean up with the pup. She's kind of mouthy and vocal.
AKC or UKC?
I'm gonna do both.
Right on.
Bounce back and forth.
That's a bingo square if I leave the screen.
As the children are sitting over there giggling.
This is not good.
It's see, they're going to have a lot more fun because I can sit here and I can kind of share some little inside jokes with Rusty, but he doesn't laugh back.
No.
And, he's just laying here looking at me like, God, again? Like, we could be doing something.
unless you're wearing your shiny plate shirt.
All right, we'll see you later, TJ.
Oh, shit.
Later.
CJ.
Uh-oh. Shit's going to get real now.
Is this? We never met Hillbilly Hans, have
We
we?
put a face to a name here.
Maybe.
This guy's been on since the
If he
beginning.
pops up.
He's...
He's got two names.
Come on.
There he is.
There he is.
Oh, geez. The man, the myth, the legend.
Nice.
What are we
Cheers.
drinking?
Cheers, buddy.
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Hans.
Not a.
Pull those plugs out for a minute.
Yeah, unplug the earbuds.
Doesn't look like there's a mic in it.
Well, I think we should show everybody that handsome
We
look.
should show everybody. my
That's a
other
nice.
name.
That is a nice
My
cool.
wife gave it to me tonight.
Well, how could you not use it?
It's got watermelon on it.
Hey,
Shoot.
Yeah, he's froze up. You have to drop him out.
ice. Look at you. You come equipped.
He's a. There, I can see you moving.
No,
Can't
mic.
hear
Pull,
you.
pull your headphones out.
Can't
Yeah.
hear you.
You got to take the. Yep. Take
Pull
those
it out
out.
of your phone there.
Pull it out of your phone.
Pull out of the thing.
Or whatever you
Oh,
plug
there,
into, I
we
guess.
heard you
It's
there.
there.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
there
hear
you
you
go.
we got
now.
some squalls up here in. We got some squalls up here in Wyoming.
All
That's where
right.
you're at, Wyoming.
So, Wyoming, yeah.
Right
I
on.
just came in from about a 9-mile-an-hour wind. I had to stake the trampoline down.
Oh, boy.
Decent.
Got pretty thirsty doing that too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Were you out there jumping on the trampoline, drinking beer, and watching us before the storm came up, or what?
No. I moved a gun safe for a buddy.
Oh, okay. That doesn't sound like much fun at all.
That sounds heavy.
So I dropped a nut, and then I came and fought the trampoline against 90-mile-an-hour wind. It was great.
Nice, nice.
Were the kids on the trampoline when the wind stick? Because that could take care of a lot of problems.
No, no, they're harassing the puppy.
Oh, boy.
What part of Wyoming?
Southwest. So I'm about halfway in between Salt Lake City, Utah, and Jackson.
Yeah.
All right.
What was your excuse for not coming up and meeting us at Lander last year?
You know what? I didn't know that was going on.
They didn't advertise it enough.
No, I just I hadn't been on social media very much.
Yeah, we couldn't get that going this year.
Yeah.
Ah,
We had a
that'd be cool.
good time there last year.
Yeah.
Well, Hans, we figured you were from Alabama with the name Hillbilly Hans.
Well, I'm not from Wyoming originally, but there's some hillbillies out here.
We call them Jack Pine Savages when they're not down south.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make people disappear just as fast up here as they do down there. So
For sure. For sure.
That's just wrong.
Probably true, too.
What? I didn't say that.
Oh, I think Hans froze up again.
Anyway,
Well, but this
Oh,
is way
there you
better
are.
than movie night.
What
I now know Garfield.
Oh, they got the mixer.
No, it's bourbon.
Bourbon.
Oh, good for you. Well, good bourbon?
I
Oh, yeah,
didn't
get
show-
that up.
I probably got to
Look at that
show
little
how
flask. Look at that.
I like
Nice.
it. I like
Prepared.
it.
Anyway,
What kind of dog, Hans?
Brittany,
Brittany.
American.
All right. Next.
You know what? I actually like it.
It's big enough for you.
I like the idea of a Brittany. I almost got one.
I just saw one the other day that I really liked. I was like, well, I see him every once in a while. You know,
The one out of
Everybody
Justin's?
likes over Brittany.
it's a solid
Still a-
dog. Well, how long have you? Is this your first Brittany, or you've been a Brittany man for a long time?
No, this is actually my first dog I'm doing on my own. My pops and I, we had a weird mix of gold retriever and a Brittany.
That's
It was pretty odd.
Did
That's
it
a dog
flush your point?
Flush.
Yes.
Good.
So it flushes at long range and points when they're in close. Would be my bet.
Basically, yeah, it would flush pheasants and then point quail,
No
Oh,
kidding.
That's okay.
and then sometimes it would retrieve like a squirrel. You know.
Nice.
Sounds well
Yeah,
rounded.
but we got birds. You know.
Cool.
That has to be a dog that gets in the water and doesn't get dry for at least three hours.
Yeah, he had a real long golden retriever like coat, and he had
Yeah.
a spotted tongue like a Brittany kind of, you know. And
Mhm.
he was a purebred mutt for sure.
I got one of those.
Yeah,
There's
they're
great
fine.
dogs everywhere.
Yeah. Cheers. I'm a purebred mutt myself. Thank you.
Nobody checked
Yeah.
my paperwork when I went to it.
Well, we
I kill
did.
the shit out of birds, and I'm a mutt.
I don't
you
have
have-
any questions.
You don't have any questions? You just wanted to party?
Now we know
You
who
got-
Billy Hans is. Now we
Yeah,
know.
for sure. Like,
Yeah,
okay, so we need to give you a homework assignment. You need to come up
Okay.
with something to tell us of wisdom next week, and Doug will patch you in. Like, just like 2 minutes of wisdom with Hillbilly Hans.
Oh,
okay. The crowd that's on right now, I don't know. You know, we got sex ed.
Sex ed with creepy Uncle Ron.
Yeah, Tyler's got like the western prairie birds covered. Nick's got the forest birds covered.
Utz
No
has
one's
got
gonna
everything
word in
porcupine
Doug.
covered.
Yeah, Utz is a professional porcupine hunter.
tips, let me
Yeah.
know.
I don't know if I told this before on this format, but about 3 or 4 years ago, Utz came over here with all of his plot books, handed them to me, and said, here's my best spots. I'm like, how am I so worthy? He says, because they're full of porcupines.
It's not funny. I mean, like, and Ron is not BSing anybody. I mean, I have spots that are dialed in. It's like, you know, because I'm old school. I'm not on social media. I don't use any GPS, so I literally dropped over.
He has an
grouse
abacus.
maps.
He has an abacus in his bathroom.
I dropped off all my grouse maps with their cuttings and where I hit them and what year and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it.
I'm done with these porcupines.
I'm so sick of my DKs. Never again.
I'm surprised that the DK guys haven't actually started like their own porcupine cover trials. That way, at least they could win something. I mean, like I'm interested to find out which DK is the best porcupine dog out there.
She died. Her name was Zoe, and God bless her. Her ashes are in the cabinet because that's what my was right.
Let's get off here and let somebody else get.
Night, Hans.
See ya. Joe Schwenke.
What up, bud?
Oh man, I made it to the point now where I took stories with Swanky and moved it to a different day so I could be here today again.
Big time.
I wasn't coming. But cheers. I wasn't coming in late and having to catch up drink after there's 20 squares already checked off.
It's rough. It's rough. Playing catch up can get you hurt.
Oh man. Oh yeah. So yeah, switch back to the lattes.
Not a boy.
That's what'd you start on?
But Captain Morgan.
We don't care about your sexual proclivities. So we're asking what you were drinking.
We were drinking Captain Morgan earlier. It was such a good day at work. I came home and hit the liquor.
There you go.
We'll go from there. No, but I keep hearing all these CZ guns coming up. Whatever happened to like spending a little extra here? Kind of has me concerned as one of those. Has me concerned as one of those fine aficionado kind of guys.
Well, that's Nick and Ron, just not me.
Okay.
For me.
Just okay.
All right. You know what? I could speak to that. Now I can't speak to it for Nick's side of the the podcasting world, but I had Beretta as a sponsor, so I was feeling all like, "Oh wow, Beretta's my sponsor." I had zero input from him, zero feedback from him, zero guests come on. And I had met Dave Miller years ago, tried to talk him into sponsoring the podcast, but he's like, "What's a podcast?" He didn't know. And I wasn't going to turn money away from Beretta. So I talked to him again a year ago in the spring, about this time of year. And now he knew what a podcast was. So he was like, yeah. And then same thing with Project Upland. I don't know what timeline. What I like about them is they're very interactive. They're big with the scholastic shooting. They've got models of shotguns. Like Beretta's not going to throw out 20 new models of shotgun. CZ will actually just literally say, "I'm not giving nothing away, Nick. Don't worry." CZ would make CZ would make a small line of shotguns if they felt there was a market for it.
Sure.
And it's a good for most of the listeners. You know, we're still talking. Most of them are in their late 20s to 30s, and it's hard to hide that money from your wife until you're like 45 years old.
Yeah.
So it's a well-made gun.
We had one in the house here, goodness, over 10 years ago, and never shot where I looked with it. And the wife shot it a while until it started. It is a lot different. I've heard a lot better things than back then. So but then I hid some money, and then I got the gun I have now, so it's hard to go back.
What are you shooting now?
What do you got?
I'm shooting a Merkel.
Ooh.
Oh Jesus. Okay. You hit a lot of money from your wife then, because they don't give those things away.
He might have. His wife might be in a barrel.
Did you sell a child or a kidney? Because those things are a lot.
I dumped my wife. She just says yes, she's a saint. Well, long story short, I emptied a lot of my gun cabinet out.
Fair enough.
Because I found that dream gun, and then she's kind of looking in there like, "How many guns are you selling?" Well, I'm selling enough. And well, no, your Beretta's not for sale, honey. You're okay still. And so we have that going. But yeah, it's I'm glad for CZ. I'm cool with especially guys getting into the side by sides, because there's nothing like a neat picture with a side by. But then I'll slum it with the Benelli when it starts raining, and
well, you don't have to.
that's a gun.
Rain now. You can get the all terrain and not worry about the rain.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's like that should be a T-shirt.
Oh,
get the all terrain. Don't worry about the rain. I got that one.
Well,
he's actually sending David Miller right now and being like, "All right, for 20%, this is your new logo."
That should be a T-shirt right there.
Yeah, I acquired the Benelli because after a bunch of years of investing in RGS raffles, I finally broke even.
You won something.
No,
somebody's got a nice looking short hair there.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a square. Oh, dang it.
Dog on screen.
Dog on screen.
We'll see you later, Joe.
That's right.
Pat Man, where are you from, Pat Man?
H3 Nation. Can you hear me all right?
Not really.
No, you're quiet.
Tell your dog to turn it up.
This is not good radio.
Your dog's bored.
Just to let you know, Zoe looked just like that
I was
dog.
just gonna say that. I thought Dave started shaking because he thought Zoe came back. He's like, oh shit. Oh shit.
Is it still bad?
We can hear you a little bit.
2 dogs, 2 squares.
Oh, drink.
Can y'all hear me or no?
A little bit. Like if you bring it closer to you, we'd be able to hear you.
Quiet.
If you can hear me, I'm trying to ask how to train for both field work and blind work.
Now you're coming in.
All right. Field work and blind work.
So you're talking about blind work for blind retrieves or for hunting from a blind?
Yeah,
Blind retrieves?
hunting from a blind plus upland field work.
Okay.
Yeah, so upland and waterfall.
Okay. So I know that there's 3.5 of us that can talk about field work, and then 1.5 of us that can talk about blind work.
Yeah,
So
not me.
as far as like it's just different games as far as I can tell. I mean, there's a lot of short hairs, and obviously you got a couple of really nice looking dogs there. Short hairs are very strong retrievers, generally speaking, anyways. I know Craig took Zeb. He got his master hunter in AKC, I think, and I know for sure he ran Luke in AKC retriever trials. So I mean, it's definitely can be done. As far as the field work goes, like how old are they?
So this dog I have right here on my lap, she's almost 4, and then I have a puppy. But I'm living in Texas right now. I do a lot of hunting in Georgia, so I do a lot of wood duck hunting and then some quail hunting down there in southwestern Georgia.
Okay. Is there an OBDA chapter in Texas, Ron?
There's a couple of them, but I couldn't tell you where they're at.
Is called Zia up there in Albuquerque, near Albuquerque.
Okay.
Yeah,
if you're gonna go to Albuquerque, there's great quail hunting over there. Like really good quail hunting just outside Albuquerque for scaled quail.
See, Dan said, how do you get a short hair?
Good. But like, do your dogs are like, as far as you talk about working them to get them ready for the field, like what do they do now? Do they point and everything right now?
So being here on the Rio, I want to do a little bit more duck hunting. And this dog I have right here, I'm trying to get her to be still and calm.
She looks pretty still and calm to me.
Line. But right now, you know, she's under pressure on camera, so she's actually behaving. But,
I think the thing you're,
you know, or maybe next to me, sitting on a bucket. I'm just trying to figure that out for her to know whether we're doing field work or we're doing kind of blind.
I gotcha.
Is there a way to do it, or is it with age and maturity?
Sure, there is. Yeah.
Well, I'll jump in on that because I've done it. I've done a fair amount of duck hunting with versatile breeds. And if you want them to be a blind dog, you got to just have a rock solid whoa command, a rock solid sit your ass down. You aren't moving.
Like place, basically, yeah.
Yeah. But most people don't. Your average person with a versatile dog or a pointing dog, they're not. I mean, their whoa command. They think they have a good whoa command. They really don't. If you can't stop your dog in the middle of doing something with a whoa, he's really not whoa broke.
Right.
And
yeah.
So to take a short hair and go duck hunting with him is not hard to do. To get him to sit still and pay attention, it's hard to do because you got to. It just takes more obedience, just flat out.
There's a very simple, very cheap solution, and it's called a tie out stake. Like literally, like I've done that before. I've taken a tie out stake to a slough and put it in there, especially with a younger dog, and just clipped it to the tie out stake. Whenever I would like just make it sit there alongside you, and then whenever you're going to let it go, just release it and tell it to go fetch.
That's the no obedience training way. Yeah.
Well,
right.
The other no obedience way is
you duck hunted with your shorties.
Oh yeah, I duck hunted with them. But the other way too is sometimes you have to put during hunting season, put your gun away and take a good partner. Yeah. And then you take the time to work with your dog. That's all it is. And it's hard to not shoot, right? I mean, it's fun. You get out. There's a limited amount of time, but you just got to find a good partner to go out with, and then you work with your dog the whole time. It's difficult, but it'll click.
Yeah. When you're doing that, are you physically restraining the dog, or what are you using, an e-collar or what?
I use e-collars, but in hunting situations, my dogs don't normally wear a collar. I typically sit right next to them, but you could put them on a very short, Ron knows all the lingo. They're like a 2 foot long with a
lead.
collar.
Tab.
Small lead, and you just sit right next to
slip lead or whatever.
And, when they sit up because they're going to get antsy, and the reality is short hairs will anyways. They're going to whine. They're going to get excited. They're going to shake. I don't know if yours does, but they shake really bad because they're excited.
Yeah.
You just sit there and be calm and comfortable, and you look like you're a calm person. So, and then work with them while your partners get to shoot away with whatever brand shotgun they use. But it'll click.
I do want to share this with everybody. This is Dave's cooler that he brought today.
Oh, that's a beauty. Is that new Yeti?
Yeah, it's the new Yeti Watermelon series. Or it's from his daughter's American Girl series. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, either or.
You got some gray looking dogs there, man. You really do.
Pat, do your dogs spend time on a stakeout chain or anything like that?
Just when we're camping or around people, but not during hunting situations. They just do field work for now.
Right. I'm just speculating. Like I'm like thinking Tyler's idea would be a good idea because dogs, they have that association, right? So if you have them staked out when you're camping and they're sitting there and they're calm, if you applied that in a hunting situation, they might connect the dots and say, I'm chained up here. I'm just going to chill out, and then like what Dave said, if you're calm, you're collected, the dog's on a chain, it knows it can't go anywhere. That might be a step to get you moving in the right direction. I don't know, but.
Right.
Hey, Pat, the thing with when you want to hunt two different disciplines like that, it's recognizing that, when you're duck hunting, it's a very dependent type of hunting, right? The dog is asked to do, independent meaning they're required to work with you. They're required to sit, they're required to wait, be steady, where upland is super independent. So you have to kind of decide, am I going to be a heavy upland hunter or a heavy duck hunter? And then that's where you find your balance. So if you're going to say that duck hunting is my primary source and I'm going to sprinkle in upland hunting, you've got to be, most of your training has to be focused around the dependent obedience and focused on keeping steadiness and keeping calm and keeping quiet and then you go in and you sprinkle in your upland. If your upland is the primary, that's what you focus on, right? So it's hard. It's super hard as a guy, all joking aside, when we run a pointing lab test, I have to go in and run retriever series. And then in the same day, I have to go out and run an upland field, and my dog has to be steady through the flush, the shot, the fall, and then until the judge tells me to go, right? Two very different types of disciplines. So, you have to find the balance of being able to keep the dependent work and the independent work. And every dog is going to be different. My labs, if I do upland more than one day a week, my dogs get bird drunk and it's just a shit show. Like their dependent work of the retriever stuff becomes, they start to break a little bit, or they start to get, their retriever stuff starts to slip. So I have to keep that balance. And you almost got to find what the balance is for your dog, but the obedience piece is the most important if you're going to do blind work.
Sean E up here, he's got a good suggestion too. And it's something that I use. It's a mud hut. Yep. Like it's just something like it's almost like what Nick was talking about, where you teach them place, but it's a little bit simpler with an upland dog. You just tell them basically, like, you just teach them to kennel, and when you get them in there, like it's like that is the place that they don't release from until they're told. Like just like a good upland dog, when you're trying to put a collar on them when they're coming out of a crate. They're, as soon as you open the door of a crate, they're not allowed to just run out and go crazy, right? Yeah. Like they got to wait there until you tell them to go. So that's a nice transition piece of equipment as well.
Right. So I don't know if it was this show or another show, but we were talking about versatile dogs, adjusting to cover, maybe adjusting to environment. When the dog comes out of the truck, do you think it knows it's going upland hunting or it's going waterfowl hunting?
I think it's a little bit up to you to kind of tell them what you're doing. Like if you're going upland hunting, you're just kind of telling them to go hunt them up. Like the dog should be able to figure out that, okay, I'm just out there, like we're walking, we're running. Like when you're waterfowl hunting, it's kind of like, it's just different. I mean, you're sitting there, you're kind of trying to be still. The dog should cue in on what you're doing. Like if it's connected to you at all, and it should be able to pick up the difference between one or the other.
Cool.
And I think the clothing that you wear, the waders, the vests, and the dogs start to identify that stuff as all nonverbal cues. At least mine.
Sure. Like blood tracking in Germany,
Mhm.
when you blood track with your dog, they put a big, heavy weighted collar on that dog's neck. I mean, it
To
feels
keep
like
their head down?
No, it's just a sensation. The dog feels this heavy, like harness type leather quality. It's a heavy collar, and when you practice tracking with a tracking dog, they always put that collar on them.
There's association.
And then the dog association. Dog's like, oh, I know what we're doing.
There's some good comments over here, like a bell when you're upland hunting, nothing when you're waterfowl hunting. Something that simple will work.
Bell for waterfowl.
Putting a vest on a dog, something like that.
They'll pick up on that stuff, like Doug
Yep.
said. I mean, they'll put it. They might not know right when they step out of the truck, but they'll put the cues together.
Good question, Pat.
Yeah, thanks for watching, Pat.
Thanks, dude.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't stop him. Yeah. I mean, well, my question is Kevin single?
What?
Kevin McCarthy.
Oh, Jesus.
Now,
So
if
you're
Kevin's-
getting after intent there.
Yeah, there's it's hard. It's an impossible question to answer unless I know all the background.
I'm not going to touch that one.
From Hillbilly, do you actually say whoa when a dog's on point?
Well, not after a while, no. But I think I do when they're puppies because I think I should. But whoa's got nothing to do with point.
No, but
Well,
I
If
will.
a dog establishes point and start creeping, I'll say whoa.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Right.
Let's delineate. If you're in a NAVDA test and
Sure.
you've seen your judge's Ron Payne, and your dog's about to move, don't even hesitate. Just yell whoa.
Whoa.
Take the.
You're gonna get a 3.
He was there.
I don't mean to brag. Dog cleared the field.
I think Captain Morgan's not joining us, so we'll.
Yeah.
That
Morgan.
Captain Morgan is Nate Morgan.
Oh. Brian. Why do I know Brian's right?
Oh, we've talked a couple times.
Yeah.
How's it
How you
going?
doing?
Oh, good.
What do we got?
Well, most of you guys travel with your dog. So the farthest I've ever brought my dog to go hunting is maybe 20 miles.
Ooh.
And I'm going up to Tyler's this fall and going sharptail hunting.
No kidding.
You guys got any good
Don't
travel
go.
tips for traveling with dogs?
Yeah.
Well,
Don't feed him as much. Seriously, be careful with feeding and watering. Like feed him once a day, water him once a day, and start getting him used to being in a kennel for extended periods of time. Take him for a drive every once in a while.
You share your beef stick. It doesn't smell good in the truck.
It does not.
Share your beef stick.
Brian, are you worried about something specifically about your dog, or are you just asking for general tips?
How far am I driving between stops? I mean, things like that.
Sure.
Hours.
Any special things I need to be concerned about, being farther away from home?
Yeah. Are your dogs very well crate trained? Do they spend a lot of time in their crate?
My Brittany, she's kenneled most of the day, so she's very good about being in
Should
her
be
crate.
fine, yeah.
And then I have a small Munster. He stays in his crate a lot, and he hates it.
Okay.
He'll get used to it on the trip.
Yeah.
It's a German
Are you
dog.
driving? Are you driving an SUV or a pickup?
SUV.
You're gonna hate it for a while. It's gonna drive you crazy for a little bit. You're gonna want to purchase a really good bark collar if you're in an SUV with a whiny dog. Seriously, it'll drive you nuts. But like usually when I'm on the roads with my dogs, I stop about every 4 hours.
Yeah.
Just kind of let them get out.
No different
stretch,
than like
pee.
leaving them at home or anything.
I go way longer than that.
Yeah.
Way longer than that.
Usually I need to pee at about 4 hours.
Well, okay,
So-
there's that.
Yeah,
There's
Stuart Smith. Yeah, when you pee, your dog pees. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I do it. I
Yeah.
drove out to Tyler's last. When I stop at a rest stop, the dog gets let out, gets a little
Yep.
air, that kind of thing. But if they're crate trained and that's their space, they should
settle
translate to that's their space. It'll be all right. But not a whole lot other than that. Just let them out when you stop.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the extreme of it. When you have an older dog that's, I'm just gonna let's just say 3 years old, just for a date. I have drove all the way to my house in Virginia, which is a 13-hour drive, and let the dogs out once.
Yeah.
And not even halfway. It'd be about 8 hours. I'm like, I ought to let them out. And I sit there and go, come on, go potty, go potty, go potty.
Right.
And they're like, they go, little Mark. And I've had Bravo, Artie, I've had Miller make 13-hour drives to Virginia and literally zero, for all intents and purposes, zero getting out for exercise.
Yeah. I mean, like the way I do it is, and like I'll drive from here all the way to Arizona. It's 24 hours or something like that. I split it up into 2 days, and basically about the time you need to stop for gas, or you want to stop and take a pee, or you want to get out and stretch your legs, just let your dogs out. I mean, like that's just a good rule of thumb. I mean, like a tank of gas in most pickups will go 400 miles. You know, that's 5 hours.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like you have to stop anyways. You might as well just put them on a leash and take them for a walk. The one tip I will give you though is make sure that you do have a leash with. Put them on a leash and somewhere towards the back of a parking lot or a rest area or whatever, because it does happen. It's kind of scary if you're off the highway and you're at a rest area if a dog just goes on a walkabout. So
yeah, I don't really let them out without a leash when I'm traveling like that.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say too, I think we as humans have a harder time not letting our dogs out because we feel guilty and they're our buddies,
right?
Than what the dog actually has a problem with, because I suffer from that. The other piece too is I typically reduce their food to about a quarter.
Yeah,
some guys won't feed them, except I'm a human and I feel bad they haven't eaten, so I'm like, have a quarter.
But
kind of heavy too, so like me not eating breakfast is not good.
But a lot of dogs will actually just naturally go off their feet. A lot of dogs will just naturally not eat for a day while you're traveling. That's not uncommon either. So if you're like
unless you own a lab,
right? Well, or you would think that, or a short hair, but like all my dogs, if I'm driving, like it's really not that easy to get them to eat if we're staying in a hotel one night. So I can't remember where you're coming from, Brian, but you know, if they don't eat the first night, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, definitely. That I've seen that.
And I would almost guess with Brian not traveling with his dogs, they will be, I don't want to say freaked out because that sounds dramatic, but I remember Jeff Peterman and I, our first trip to South Dakota in 95 or 3 or something.
Yeah.
His dog, unless he put like gravy from a supermarket on his food, that dog looked like it came home from a concentration camp.
Yeah.
Hunted for 5 days and barely ate.
Yeah.
But you know what? Ed Bailey told me a dog can go, as long as they got water and they're healthy, they can go for 2 weeks without food.
Yeah.
They're going to look like shit, but they're going to be okay.
The first time that I went to Kansas with all my dogs, 2 of them didn't eat almost the whole trip, you know, and they just, you know, after like, I was only down there for like 3.5 days, but after the second day, I was like, well, you know, I guess you're just not, you know, sometimes they will go off their feed for a few days, but they'll be fine.
So another thing, don't be freaked out if you get to your hunting spot and the dog just runs and then has an explosion. I have seen that so many times with other dogs. It's something they have to do. The other thing, and it was an idea. One of the listeners said they don't like rest stops. I don't either. I typically try to find a place a little behind the beaten path. That I'm not saying you're supposed to run your dogs there. But
I go behind factories and warehouses.
Yeah, so do I. You find an open piece of grass, air them out a little bit, and at a rest stop where nobody's going to mind. Let my dogs poop afterwards. I'm just not that guy.
I like candy. My dogs know what a cheeseburger is, and they know what it means.
I should say too, the $15 pet charge is worth it if you stay in a hotel, because you can play bumper games for drinks if you feel like it.
True.
No, they charge the dog. You're gonna
spoon with them.
That's the best. That's the best thing. Captain Morgan's on the air.
Hey, Captain Morgan.
What's up, Nate? Wake up, Nate.
I don't think it's working. Nope, not working.
He's there, but maybe delayed.
He's there, but he ain't with us.
He's on Sprint.
Oh, says the Verizon guy. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Nate, are you there? I mean, you're moving, but
he's not there.
He's moving. He's waving.
That was a while.
There he is.
It's like watching an old Chinese movie.
Very delayed. Satellite internet.
Okay, anybody else?
This is not good radio.
Nate, you need to chime in about anything?
He's getting caught up on all of our comments.
We can only one talk at a time.
I think his internet is just too slow. He might be on Bob's cable.
All right, y'all there?
Nope.
Oh, what is that? One of the listeners picked up the fan still moving.
Uh-oh. We've just hit another level.
Jesus.
Can we have a no, shut up. Can we have a playback on Cap Morgan?
I wish I was in on that.
The fan was still moving. That's what they said.
He's not moving, but the fan's just.
Oh, I love it. All right,
Cap
Cap.
Morgan.
I love you, Nate.
See you Wednesday.
Sean should jump on. Pat Man's back.
Pat, you're back.
Back. We got another one.
Oh, gents, we have a serious question. What's the best domestic draft beer?
Ooh.
The best
Whoa.
domestic
Wait.
no, wait.
Domestic draft.
Oh, well, Pear and Black.
No, it's got to be Line and Kugels. Liney
Probably-
Honeyweiss.
I'll bet you it's Founders all day IPA.
Founder's pretty good.
I was going to say Schmitz.
All day IPA.
Tyler knows about Schmitz.
It's not Voodoo Ranger. Utz.
Voodoo Ranger's not too shabby.
Yeah, I think I got a Schmitz. Hold on a minute.
Do you have a Schmitz?
I don't know.
It's probably warm.
Oh, it would be.
That's the best way to drink it.
They got the wilderness box.
This is
Here in Texas, we're drinking a thing called Shiner Box. You want to drink Shiner Box?
Shiner Bock. I've had
That's a good
that.
beer. That's a good Texas beer.
hey. When Utz and I went out to Tyler's, there is a bar out there that is not boarded up. You can walk in it. It's totally abandoned. I mean, there's no police. There's no do not trespass signs. And it kind of still looks like it could be a bar. And I found this really nice case of Schmitz beer.
Yeah, I remember.
In the bar. Now, these old cardboard cases are reminiscent of my beer driving days in Chicago with Pabst Blue Ribbon. That box, you could change it. You could park a truck on that box.
Yeah.
There we go. Schmitz beer. Maybe they could be a sponsor.
Last episode that there was supposed to be a chug off and
There was a chug off last episode, and Ron smoked me, and I'm very embarrassed about it.
yeah, I think
Really?
Doug was like a Bud Light or a Miller Light, and Ron was a Pear and Black.
Was that when I was out turkey hunting or walking in the woods? I should
Walking
say.
in the woods, yeah.
I challenged Ron. I was drinking a Bud Light. He was drinking a Miller Light. I don't think Doug's ever done a chug off. Have you?
I was gonna take the winner.
Oh.
No, you take. I'm not in the chugging mode. I had 3 pieces of pizza for dinner, and I'm still full. Easy.
Is there something talking underneath there?
True story. My first time in North Dakota, I didn't even realize it was Schmitz beer, but I met a guy, and I was significantly younger and drank more. I called him Schmitz all week long. I didn't realize they called him that because of the beer he drank. I thought at the end of the week, he goes, I have a name, though. I couldn't tell you what it is now.
Who'd you go out there with back in the day? It wasn't the NAVDA guys, was it?
No, it was Joe Kurth.
Well, he came to NAVDA a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. He tried. He got a wire hair.
How many times have you been?
I'm going
out
to try
to
again,
Tyler's
Stuart,
place?
for sure.
Well, I'm sorry.
How many times have you been out to Tyler's place?
Just once.
Just once. Last year?
He used
2
to
years
go-
ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, I used to go to Verona, Valley City area, and then we've been to Goodrich, Lemoore.
Yeah, Utz had a long history of going there before all that.
Yeah, before
I mean,
everyone
he had
knew how
short hair.
great it was.
Yeah. And the trespassing signs were up.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is that the year that you guys came up here, that was the year of the drought, and we didn't have any birds. So, it was okay. Like,
it was the
fine.
best day ever, Tyler.
It was still.
Ron's still mad, but it was the best day ever.
Just the one day.
The pheasant hunting down south was pretty good. The day that you found the Voodoo Rangers in the bar down there at Cole Harbor.
That's worth the story. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had met Tyler through the podcast, and then the year before, and we had a great time out there. Tell Utz about it. Utz wants to come out there, and we hunted for about. Maybe we're on. I'm just going to say day 3. It might have been day 4, and we get to that place down by Brazen. What is it?
Hazen.
Yep. And Tyler kind of lays everything out. He goes, all right, you guys are going to go here. You go there. And Tyler starts walking to the left, and Utz starts following him.
Yeah. For the record, anywhere Tyler takes out a gun and starts walking, through him being polite, I learned after 2 days, follow that man. Everybody else is like, okay, we'll take the cornfield. I'm like, yeah, not me. I'm going with Tyler.
We're starting to disperse, right? And I go, Dave, where you going? He goes, I'm following Tyler. I'm like, but he said we're supposed to go across the swamp. And he goes, fuck that. He says, I'm Tyler. And within 5 minutes, I hear boom, 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 boom. And he's like, I told you.
It took me 2 days to catch
Figure
on to
this out.
Tyler's thing. He's like, you guys go be the flushing dogs over there. I'm going to take my dogs to where the birds hang out.
Well, see, I learned from you know what Craig Jones called that.
What did he call it?
A buddy fucker. And I have a PhD level in buddy fucking. I've been doing it for a long time.
Right. For Doug, if Doug goes out there and Tyler takes the spot, this is what I want you to do. When you and Tyler go out somewhere, be that close. Right there. You can't even get your arm down.
What about a check cord?
If I'm bringing my gun up like this, whack it down with your arm.
Right.
So full transparency, I felt like Tyler was trying to get away from me when I followed him in the field. And I'm like, nope, sucker, I'm right next to you. There's no way.
Hey, that's funny because I think I was always a good judge of humans, and I'm still following his directions. And within 2 days, you're already breaking ranks.
That's what bottom feeders do, Ron. Long to figure it out.
It was also that day though that you figured out that I had to turn the beeper collar off on my dog because your dog started hunting beepers.
Yeah.
That was the same day. Yeah.
My lab figured it out. See, my lab is as smart as I am.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, that white dog's on point somewhere. I'm gonna go find it.
Where's Rusty?
And that's true. Every time she heard a beeper call, and I actually did have to stop hunting with you guys. I'm
Right.
like, yeah. She's quit hunting, and she's like, beep beep. There it is. I'm on.
It could have been a road grader backing up.
That's also the same day you found one of the largest porcupines ever.
That was a big porcupine. Yeah, with off.
You're like, watch out! There's a porcupine there. I'm like, no.
We didn't have any porcupine quills, but that was a large porcupine, like extra large.
Yeah.
We ended up doing really well down there, though, and then we decided to make one more walk along the shores of Lake Sakakawea, got our asses kicked, and went and drank beer.
Blue fucking honey. Well, Joey, I don't think you can call in, but if
you remember how StreamYard link
ran at that place, Tyler?
What's that?
One?
What is it? Soccer, whatever we stopped at.
Yeah. We stopped at Cole Harbor.
They were in Wyoming.
You let them out of the kennel, and I'm like, they're gone.
That was who was that? Was that Frank? No, wasn't Miller.
It was Miller and Katie.
Bravo, yeah, Bravo could be he could just be gone.
He was on a walkabout. We did move some pheasants out of that cover, but oh my God.
Always away on the horizon.
A long ways away.
Is Sakakawea the biggest or like the second biggest lake in North Dakota?
It's the biggest. It's
biggest.
Giant, it's a Missouri River reservoir.
Bigger than Devil's Lake?
Oh, way bigger. Yeah.
Okay.
What up, Joey?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, dude?
Hey, I've got he's coming up on 2-year-old poodle pointer. He did really well on his NA test. And I was starting to train him for either UPT or his UT test. I was wondering where you guys that are into the NAVDA, what do you focus on the most?
Well,
we need to know more about the strengths.
In regards to what?
Yeah, it's because
the test.
Oh, he's got a Ranella Patelis shirt on. He's good. He's good.
He's good
where
people.
You live, Joey? Joey, where you live?
I'm in Winlock, Washington.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, I can't get out there quick and help you. That's like almost too broad of a question.
Okay.
If you've done good in NA tests, which most dogs do okay. Some dogs do good. Some dogs do great, but for utility or utility prep, it's a lot of obedience.
Yeah.
So it definitely helps to have a chapter support. All right, I gotta let that dog. Can you let that dog out? Miller, there's a dog in heat here, and this dog's driving me nuts.
It's just like we're on a podcast right now. This is so much fun.
Could you just give him the
Jesus?
I mean, he probably feels
I
like
had a third hand, 2 dogs and just me.
So, like, when you were doing your NA test, did was there any portion of it that you were a little concerned about him not performing well in?
No, he's got a poodle pointer.
Right.
I would say the one thing that we were, that I had a little bit of concern with going into at the time was just the going for a bumper in the water. I mean, full disclosure, he scored a 112, and he did really, really well.
Decent.
So I'm just, he does. We were starting to pick up the training after the first of the year, and then this whole mess we're all in. I kind of took a step back. The test I was signed up for would have already happened.
Yeah.
And now I'm pushed back to like the last weekend in September. So
yeah.
I'm trying not to push the dog too hard, too fast.
That's
He's
good.
Pretty steady to, wing, shot, and fall.
That's really good for a year-old dog.
Yeah.
He does really well with like a steady by blind. I know like some of the obedience stuff for him is probably, like you said earlier, that's probably the spot that we need to work on the most. Just like his healing. He heals pretty good most of the time, but he's not perfect all of the time.
Yeah, try to use.
And then the duck search is the one thing that we've done a little bit of. I've done a lot of like duck search on dry land. I don't have a lot of access to good ponds,
right?
Close by. So, I've taken bumpers and set him out, and then he's pretty good on just sitting him next to me, taking a shot and sending him, and he goes out. He'll search for a while. If I put 5 or 6 bumpers, he usually gets most of them before he decides to give up and then comes back. I've also put dead ducks out there, and he goes out and.
And you're doing this on dry land.
That's what I have available to work with regularly. Right. I've done one real duck search on a pond. Yeah, and he did pretty good for his very first time ever asking him to go do that.
That's
good. I did duck hunt him a couple of times this last winter. And so he's doesn't seem to be afraid of the water by any means. I was just kind of curious where you guys put your money when it comes to, a UT test as far as maybe what needs more focus than the other things.
That's tough without seeing the dog. But when you said heel,
Sure.
Ud said, he's like, yeah, heel. Because we have the Baker brothers. Baker brothers had some of the best utility testing dogs in the world, and they failed healing, I don't know, 5, 6, 8 times.
Yeah, his dog ended up being a VC, but he skimmed over the easy stuff.
Yeah,
sure.
But with you really to feel confident to go into that test format, you're gonna have to get him into some water to see how he does. Now, would hope it's not the day of the test, but how far away is your test format from you? How far away is it?
Date wise?
No, how many miles? How many miles to drive?
I'm really lucky. My local chapter here, the Pacific Northwest chapter, we've got 2 different testing grounds that we utilize, and the test we're signed up for is about a 25-minute drive from my house. Yeah. And so we're going to be able to go out there and do some utilize the grounds before the test date too. So that's going to be that's my plan, is to hit it hard. I would. Your dog's pretty. All these dogs are pretty good in the field. I mean, come on.
It's going to be water.
A dog that doesn't hunt. If you've got the wing shot and fall part down, you keep working on that. I'd get him into that water as much as you can. But when we kind of said heel, don't ignore heel. Like, I cannot tell you how many dogs I have judged where the way a lot of tests go. We get in the morning, we do the field. It's hot later in the day, so we do the field. And then we go do the drags. Most dogs do a drag good. You could take a corgi and do a drag in most cases. But end of the day, we get down to retrieve a duck, the healing course, and we see this dog that just loses his mind during healing. And we're like, oh, come on. You didn't teach the dog to heal. Right. So I would say work on that healing. Make sure you can go through the course without a leash. Don't go through the course without a leash. But even if you have to simulate your own healing course, get that dog to where he can heal off leash. And it's the same way with the remaining it blind. They make you walk away for 2 shots. And then you walk back to your dog. Practice at home. Set the dog up over on the other side of the house. Walk over to the other side of the house. Take 3 shots and take 4 shots. And make sure your wife's there to tell you if the dog's moving or something. Over train for those little bitty things that are normally easy. So healing, remaining it shot. The water you're only going to get without a lot of training. You're only going to get what the dog's going to give you in the duck search. But most poodle pointers, would you agree?
I feel like right now he'd get a prize 3.
He's already
a poodle pointer.
Right.
I just kind of feel like already it's got a solid.
Don't blow my head up.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
You'll do better than that.
All right, thanks a lot, Joey. So this is going to be the last one, then we're going to wrap things up.
All right. What's up, Jeff?
Oh, can't hear you.
My question is,
there you go.
The birds after you shoot it.
I didn't hear the question.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can now. Yep.
Yeah, say it again.
So what do you do with the bird after you shoot it? Do you clean it immediately? Do you clean it when you get back to the truck? Do you age it? And if you do age it, then how do you do that?
It depends on the weather, but I like to age my birds come October when the weather is going to be like 45 degrees during the day and who knows, like 30 degrees at night. I'll age them for 5, 6 days, 10 days, whatever. The thing that, in fact, when Dave and Ron were out here last time, we literally saved all of our birds for the whole trip until the last day. We just kept them on the cold concrete floor in my garage. The key though is that they need to be laid breast up. They don't want them laying on the side or on the back, or you know what I mean, because all the blood and everything also kind of drain out into the gut cavity, and then you won't have to everything. The meat will be lighter. You won't have quite as much blood in the meat, But if you lay them on the side or whatever, they'll end up turning green and stuff if they're gut shot at all.
Yeah.
So you're definitely going to want to be careful about that. But when it like late in December and November, yes, with the guts. Feathers on, complete full birds, just dead out of the bag. When it comes to like December, when it's kind of cool out, if it's going to stay like 35, 36 degrees in my garage, I aged a table full of roosters last year for 21 days. And when I finally cleaned them, I could push my finger through the breast meat. They were that tender.
With the guts in.
Yep.
And I'll tell you something I do. When I bring, like last day of hunting, I bring birds home and put them right in the freezer, guts and feathers on them. And there's never any, I mean, yeah, you could have a shot up bird that might be a little goofy, but you could freeze a bird in the, here's an example. Chip and I were hunting in South Dakota. We were prairie chicken sharptail hunting. And Steve Ranella called me up. He says, Ron, I know you freeze birds. I know you keep birds feathered. He says, I'm doing a cookbook. He says, do you have anything in your freezer? And I had 2-year-old sharptails, 2 years old. And it was supposed to go to Chip. And I'm like, you know what? I got a garbage bag with 4 sharptails. Or it might have been 2 prairie chickens, but same bird almost. I airmailed them to Steve. They cleaned them and cooked them. He could not taste any problem with that.
Right. Yeah. The feathers and the skin will actually protect the meat.
It's not going to get freezer burned.
Yeah. No, not at all.
No, but I'd argue it depends on the time of the year and how warm it is.
It certainly does. It certainly does.
You don't want to start out with 3 days of.
Yeah, I've got a small knife with a gut hook on it. You know, there's not too many companies that make them, but I've got one. And when you grab a woodcock or something early season,
I would never do it with that. Yeah,
reach in there, grab the innards out, but I clean them up right when I get home.
Yeah, sharptails here are the same thing in September. I mean, we may age them like overnight. Like if it's going to be down to like 40 degrees or whatever.
Cool.
Like the key is that you don't like. And I'm going to get the number wrong because I'm drunk, because that happens here. And in fact, that's kind of what we traffic in. But I think it's 12 hours. I think it's 12 hours after you shoot the bird. I think it takes 12 hours for the muscles to actually relax, like for the rigor mortis to go out of the bird. So like if like when Nick's up here in September or whatever, if we're shooting sharptails at like, at noon or whatever, we're going to try to keep them cool in a cooler or put them in the shade or whatever, and then clean them the next day. Or even like just wait as long as you can. But you definitely need to be really careful when it comes to like 70-degree weather.
Yeah,
you don't want to leave them.
Whole different story.
Mm-hmm.
If it's warm enough for you to sweat, do something else with the bird. Get it out.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, I don't have like a really specific system that I try to age my birds the same amount all the time, but I kind of base it on the weather. Like if it's like Tyler mentioned, if it's early season Sharpies and it's warm, we'll put them in a cooler. Those birds I want to clean sooner than later because I don't want them sitting in a cooler. You don't really have the airflow, that sort of thing. So I don't want those birds sitting in the cooler very long. So I'll clean those the next day, the next morning, that night maybe. When it gets later in the season, I'm hunting around here and it's back home and I know it's going to be 30, 40 in the garage. I like to hang them. I'll just hang them in my garage from the heads on a strap or whatever. And those, I'm not aging them for a specific amount of time, but I'm not in a hurry to clean them. They might sit for 2 days. They might sit for 5 days. Same kind of thing. Like if the weather's in your favor and you got airflow in your garage or whatever, I like that. If you talk to a guy like Hank Shaw will tell you can let any bird age except like a wild turkey because they're so big and they have so much guts. You got to get the guts out of them. But all the upland birds, you can age them with the guts in as long as the temperatures and stuff is right for you.
The other thing that I have started doing in the last couple of years that's made a little bit of difference is in September, I will actually dry age my sharptails in a fridge. Just put them breast up.
Throw them in the fridge. Yep.
Like throw them breast up in a fridge for at least a day. I swear to God, it's going to blow your mind the difference. If you shoot a sharptail at 4 or whatever, it doesn't matter what kind of bird, pheasant, duck, whatever. You shoot a bird at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you clean it at 7 o'clock in the afternoon. The tenderness, it's going to be tough. Like everything's constricted still. It hasn't relaxed. If you wait for 24 hours, everything's starting to relax a little bit. And like, I mean, during December pheasant season, I don't clean birds until I have a table full. Like I will wait. I'll wait till I have my possession limit. I'll clean my 12 birds.
When I was out there the first year with Tyler, we still got a tailgate picture. Your buddy,
4 days later,
your buddy lived in town. We kept throwing all the birds in his garden shed.
Yeah.
And we had like 40 or 50 birds to clean.
Oh, well, we had ducks and geese and cranes and sharptails and huns and pheasants and everything. Yeah, we had snow geese. Yeah,
Jeff, it's really about heat. You know, if it's 40 or 50 degrees when you're hunting, it's gonna be 30 or 40 at night.
It's fine.
You got nothing to worry about.
No, you can leave them for 3, 4, 5 days.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a palate question too, right?
Depending
upon what you feel comfortable with, because some guys will age it and be like, "I'm not eating that."
Yeah,
sure, for sure.
So there's wives to consider here.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it. It's me.
So yeah, Pat, yeah, like if it's like I said, I mean, if it's September and it's going to be warm outside, I'm going to put them breast up in the bottom shelf of the fridge, or else if it's not going to be like, let's say sub 50 or 55 degrees for a high and like 30 for a low, like you can put them on cold concrete for 2 days. They're fine.
Yeah.
Yes, Stuart. Sandhill cranes. Yeah, we had some sandhill cranes that we had marinating for several days.
Thanks, Jeff.
They're delicious.
Guts in on the sandhill cranes.
Everything. I don't take guts out of anything other than deer.
Yeah, I don't either.
Well, what do you think, boys? Time to wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'll stay here and drink with you guys for a little bit.
Oh yeah, we're good. You haven't even called for your Uber ride yet. So
oh no, my wife hasn't picked me yet.
We're good. He's yet to begin to defile himself. So. Cheers, everybody. Next week we are going to have a big guest. There will be hopefully an announcement Tuesday, something like that. Hopefully we can get something going on Tuesday, Wednesday.
Is it 100% official?
It's 100%. Jesus, I just had swallow fly in the garage. Yes, it's 100% official. I just need to send him an email about topics, and I was like, well, basically, we're going to talk about whatever they're doing, and then get drunk, which he's down with, by the way. It's going to be fun. But if you guys want to, so I think we're going to switch it. Have we decided when? Like, is it going to be after next Friday? We'll switch to like Tuesdays.
We could do that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Nick's got the follow-up guest after that, which you don't want to announce yet either, I'm sure. So
yeah, we'll hold off on that one, but that'll be the next two they'll be good.
Yes, for sure.
No
and then
nuts.
Yeah. So if you guys do have a different night, I mean, I think Tuesdays is going to be pretty good. Is there anything that you want them to put in the comments or anything like that, Doug?
Just put hi. I don't really care. Put something there.
Leave us a comment.
Leave us a comment. Leave something there.
Make sure you guys do something, and we will collectively all talk to you soon. I'm sure Ron's gonna have a podcast coming up, probably with Dave after they get hammered tonight. They'll do one, and then they'll end up having to burn the tape, something like that. But have a good night, guys. Hopefully, you guys are gonna get out and do some fishing or hunting this week. Well, not hunting, but fishing this weekend or camping or something. And we'll talk to you guys next week.